banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati. It's 31 degrees, and it's been 31 years since the Bengals' last playoff win. That wait can end today as the NFL playoffs begin.
In this game, the bigger the opportunity, the better the story can become. And every year, for every team that reaches this point, the greatest opportunity that exists in this sport stands before them.
We are not done. The standard is a Super Bowl.
It all starts here with a franchise that hasn't won a postseason game in 31 years. Just 2 years ago, they were 2-14.
Let's put it in my hands. It's over.
What a throw by Joe Burrow.
That was a dime right there.
But that was before their swagger,
2,
their sizzle, and their skills changed everything.
Ricky out of here. I know what time it is. How great is Jamar Chase?
Proof how quickly youth can fuel belief and how much belief can feed possibility. Their season appeared to be in tatters, drowning in chaos and controversy, but riding a series of wild finishes.
Put it in the W column, baby.
Vegas bucked the odds and turned it all around.
We going, baby.
Now, here's their opportunity to keep such a remarkable story going.
Jackpot, baby. Let's go to Cincinnati.
It's 4 weeks of what might just be the greatest tournament in sports. 14 teams set to script tales worthy of a Hollywood ending. The NFL playoffs start now. Nothing bigger, nothing better.
In Paul Brown Stadium, what they call the jungle in Cincinnati, and they are going wild in here. Bengal fans hope this is the day that 3-decade wait comes to an end. As the new face of the franchise, Joe Burrow makes his playoff debut. And the same is true for Derek Carr of the Las Vegas Raiders in this AFC Wildcard game. Good afternoon, everyone. Mike Tirico, the road to Super Bowl 56 on NBC in Los Angeles starts here in Cincinnati, and somebody's going to end a long playoff winless drought today. We told you the Bengals, it's been 31 years, but they went worst to first in the AFC North, and they've got the young passing combo of Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. For the Raiders, this year's Raiders may have seen more adversity than any team in league history, but they built some mettle. They won 6 games on the final play, including last Sunday night. They're trying to win a playoff game for the first time in 19 years. Drew Brees played 18 playoff games, MVP of Super Bowl 44, and birthday boy, welcome to the booth, the playoffs.
Thank you.
All right, these fans are so into this Bengals team. So have you been watching all season. Do they have what it takes? Why is it so real in Cincinnati right now?
Well, first of all, they deserve to be here. You know, this AFC North division has been dominated by the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens for the last couple of years. But the Cincinnati Bengals beat them both twice this year to win this division. And they've got this confident young quarterback in Joe Burrow that has everyone believing.
Well, the Raiders believe in themselves. What do they need to pull a road upset here today?
Well, one name for you, Josh Jacobs. They need to give him the ball as much as possible today. He's a guy that continues to get stronger as the game goes on, establish the line of scrimmage, try to shorten this game, but he needs to carry the ball between 25 and 30 times today, and then rely on Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow to work the middle of the field. That's where your matchups are going to be.
These teams met in Week 11. The Bengals won that one. That was in Vegas, but the stakes are a lot higher in Cincinnati today. It's Cincinnati against a team from Sin City. Winner moves on to the Final 8. The NFL playoffs begin next here on NBC. Back here on this great day in Cincinnati for the third all-time playoff meeting between these franchises. The Bengals have never won a postseason game here in Paul Brown Stadium. Catherine Tappan, just part of the history they are trying to change here today.
Yeah, Mike, just how long has this Bengals playoff drought been? Well, the last time they won in the postseason, Seinfeld was on your TV. Cell phones looked like bricks, and text messaging didn't even exist. And in fact, only 4 active Bengals players were alive the last time this team won a playoff game 31 years ago. Now, Joe Burrow told me this team hasn't even talked about that this week. This is a new team, a new group of guys. But Bengals veteran veteran tight end C.J. Uzomah acknowledged a win would be huge for the city, but for us, it would be another step closer to where we want to be, Super Bowl champs. And head coach Zach Taylor told us the narrative outside the building is that the fans feel the pressure, not the guys in that locker room. We embrace the history of the franchise, but this team has a lot of confidence. And he added, this Bengals team, there is a different feel in meetings and practice. This is a special group, Mike.
Both sides have that feel that it's something special, but this city is so behind what they feel is the end to a generation-plus long negative playoff run. And the running back on the last playoff winner in Cincinnati, Ickey Woods, here to fire up the fans. He's still got one shuffle left in him. First playoff game as head coaches for the two guys going head-to-head today. 38-year-old Zach Taylor on the right, 61-year-old Rich Bisaccia on the left. Bisaccia replaced John Gruden in Week 6 and went 7-5 to get the Raiders to the playoffs. Bengals won the toss, deferred the option to the second half. So Evan McPherson, really solid rookie kicker, is going to kick it away for the Bengals. Tyron Johnson is back deep to receive for the Raiders. The longest year in NFL history, but here we are at the games that matter most. 14 teams alive, 13 games ahead. One team gets its hands on the Lombardi Trophy. Off we go on the road to Super Bowl 56. No return by Johnson, and the Raiders will take over at the 25-yard line. Derek Carr's going to be the quarterback. Let's tell you the people around Derek Carr. Josh Jacobs, the running back, at a $132 against the Chargers on Sunday night. Hunter Renfrow, 103 receivers. Great slot receiver. Darren Waller, star tight end, second game back from injury. Up front, left tackle Colton Miller's the best. Right side's a problem. Watch that closely as the game goes on today. Deafening in here. Drive starts at the 25. First run, Jacobs. Gain of about 4. Jermaine Pratt, the linebacker, made the tackle. We mentioned Derek Carr, 8th year with the Raiders. Only 3 quarterbacks in league history have started more games before their playoff debut. Remember, when they made the playoffs the last time in 2016, he got injured late in the regular season. You saw the numbers, very good this year, with 5th in the NFL with a career high in passing yards. He got 5 on first down. It's back to Jacobs to the left side. He stumbles forward for 3. 3rd and 2 against that Cincinnati defense that's middle of the pack in the NFL this year. 17th in points allowed. They've got a stud on the edge. Trey Hendrickson, 15 sacks, 4th in the league with Ogunjobi, Reader, and Hubbard. Second-year linebacker Logan Wilson is going to be the signal caller in the middle. They'll be in nickel a lot, of course. All 3 cornerbacks were signed in free agency. And Mike Hilton, 21, he's going to see a lot of Hunter Renfrow. Big matchup in the game today.
They split Darren Waller out. They might like this matchup right here.
32, Richard is the back. They throw to the 50-yard line, and Zay Jones makes the catch for the first down. Jesse Bates with the tackle, but a good 3rd down pitch and catch and a gain of 17.
This is a nice job by Derek Carr. They actually split out Darren Waller. In a lot of cases, he's the premier guy here, but they go to Zay Jones. He was another one of the big 3rd down threats for them this year behind Hunter Renfrow, a guy who I can see having a big impact on this game, not just in the intermediate passing game, but down the field.
First down for Carr. He'll throw it to Renfrow. A catch at the 45. It's a gain of 5, and as advertised, Mike Hilton, the nickel corner, slot corner, going to see a lot of number 13 in silver and black today.
That's really the key for this Raiders offense today, is rely on this run game with Josh Jacobs, try to shorten the game in that way, also just continue to dent the defense, and then work the middle of the field with guys like Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow, and then when you have the big play opportunity down the field with guys like Zay Jones and Brian Edwards, you cash in.
Second down, Jacobs. Looking for space in the right. Couldn't find much. John Simpson, the guard, pulled. Didn't get much of a push. And it's going to be 3rd down and 3. Second time on 3rd down, Jacobs comes out and Jalen Richard comes in. Saw him a lot Sunday night in the win over the Chargers. Mentioned all the personnel for the Raiders. Deshaun Jackson, veteran, 35 years old, number 1. He'll be split to the top of your screen for 3rd down here. Doesn't play a ton, but still has some speed. Got to keep an eye on him.
This is tough communication here with the crowd noise. This is typically when Hunter Renfrow comes in motion, gets behind his receiver and runs some sort of an option route.
He does. Carr goes the other way. Waller juggles, hangs on, advances to the 35 and picks up a first down. So Darren Waller, sensational tight end, missed 5 games with a knee and back injury. Comes back in the lineup, big first down there.
Yeah, this is really what the Raiders like to do on third down, is put Renfrow in these positions where he can run option routes. He has 3-way go. He's not open there. Derek Carr does a nice job of coming back, finding his second progression. Darren Waller continuing the drive.
Nice open drive here for the Raiders to start. Couple of first downs already in the 35-yard line. They loaded up with all tight ends in here. 3 in the game. Carr's going to throw out of it. And over the ball, they complete it to Jacobs. Very close to another first down. I love the tempo and the play calling early on by Greg Olsen, the offensive coordinator for Las Vegas.
Yeah, Raiders get into a heavy personnel here, 3 tight ends. They snap it from under center, which typically in this league, when you're under center, it's a lot of run plays, but they run 4 verticals, clear out the defense. Derek Carr recognizes it right away, gets the ball very quickly to his back, give him a chance to go and get good yardage.
Olsen took over the play calling after the head coaching change. Second and short, they're just trying to get the first down, but we have the game's first flag for a false start.
Before the snap, false start. Offense, number 83. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
You can hear how loud it is on the field when they open up the mic of Jerome Boger, working his 7th playoff game, veteran referee.
Yeah, watch Waller here. He's off the ball. You know, it's always hard for tight ends. You're the furthest guy away from the quarterback, so really hard to hear. In a lot of cases, you're just feeling the tackle move before you move. But it's loud here in Cincinnati. They're excited about this game. Communication's at a premium right now.
On 2nd and 5, cut back by Jacobs. Only gains 2, so that penalty may hurt him. Sam Hubbard, who is a Cincinnati kid, Moeller High School in Cincinnati, then Ohio State, now the Bengals. This playoff game means so much to him. He sets up 3rd and 3.
Yeah, you're going to see this a lot from Cincinnati. When you get these run downs, like 1st and 2nd down, they like to put 5 defensive linemen covering every offensive lineman in order to stop that run. They did a nice job there. Get him to 3rd and 3.
Rashard the back. Deshaun Jackson bottom of your screen.
Here's this matchup with Renfrow.
And Carr looking that way. He scrambles, throws on the run for Renfrow, broken up. Terrific job closing by Mike Hilton. It'll set up a field goal opportunity of about 47 yards.
Now we're going to see this matchup all day. Renfrow on Mike Hilton. That's a tough chore. Hilton stays underneath. Renfrow's open immediately, but Carr has to scramble and allows Hilton to make up ground. Really does a nice job knocking this away. This is going to be a matchup all day long.
Excellent kickers both sides. Daniel Carlson from 47. A.J. Cole, the punter, holds. Into the wind. And nailed it. Good solid opening kick by Carlson, who was tied for the NFL lead in point scoring. Opening drive field goal for the Raiders. They score first. Burrow and the Bengals on the field next. So Carlson, who made the big 47-yard field goal against the Chargers last Sunday night, makes one to open the postseason. And now he kicks off to Chris Evans, rookie out of Michigan. Not a lot of kickoff return experience. Picks it up at the 10. And on the move, Evans is stopped at the 24-yard line. Well covered by the Raiders and Markel Lee. So here comes the Cincinnati offense and the players around their star quarterback, Joe Burrow. Of course, all the focus on Jamar Chase, but don't forget Joe Mixon, who had a sensational year, 3rd in the league in yards and attempts. As for the offensive line, like we said with the Raiders, strong on the left side. The right side struggles, especially Isaiah Prince, that right tackle, and he's going to be challenged. You see the Pro Football Focus rank of those players is we're a mile away from Pro Football Focus World Headquarters here in Cincinnati. Here goes Burrow from the 25, first playoff snap. And it's incomplete. tried to quickly get it to Jamar Chase and get something going, but the Raiders were all over it with Denzel Perryman. So I think you know the Burrow story. Just to refresh, from about 130 miles of here, from southeast Ohio, so we're in southwest Ohio, went to Ohio State, had people ahead of him, transfers to LSU, wins the national championship, hurt last year as a rookie, but the #1 pick this year was sensational. Led the league in completion percentage at 70%, among his record-setting numbers this year. Mixon in the slot, empty backfield. Good push by the line, forced Burrow on the run, and Chase makes the catch at the 36-yard line. Opens his account with a first down.
Well, I love the aggressiveness. The Bengals are coming out with 2 consecutive snaps of empty, 5 wide, nobody in the backfield. This shows one of Joe Burrow's great traits, his ability to slide, move in the pocket, buy a little time, and get the ball down the field accurately to his playmakers. This is a matchup we're going to be seeing a lot today. Jamar Chase on Brandon Faison. He is their boundary corner, which in many cases is where Jamar Chase is lining up.
From the 36, first run Mixon inside for about 3 yards. Let's check this Las Vegas defense. They were in the bottom half of points allowed in the league for the 19th consecutive year. That's a record. So they do give up points, but Max Crosby, the right defensive end, is a star. He wrecked the game. Divine Diablo, the rookie, has stepped in next to Perriman. We'll see the veteran KJ Wright sprinkled in along the way. The DBs, you've got a couple of rookies, some inexperienced players. A lot of guys picked up. Matter of fact, most of these cornerbacks were not Raiders last year, but Crosby's pass rush makes it easier to not have a star in the secondary. From the 39, Burrow's throw is caught. Chase, great job dotting the feet to get that second toe down, and a first down in Raider territory at the 44. Gain of 17.
Yeah, nice job with the motion. It actually gets the defensive back Faison off of Jamar Chase. That's not his best technique. He wants to be a press corner. Not as good when he's in off coverage. Allows Jamar Chase to step on his toes, kick out of that. Those big chunk yardage plays for the Bengals, really a key to this offense.
I like that term. The receiver steps on the DB's toes.
You get them thinking you can run a lot of different routes.
Burrow adjusts the play. Tight end is a blocker to lead from Mixon to the left side. In game 4, Denzel Perryman holding on until Divine Diablo and Trayvon Merritt got over there for the Raiders. Joe Mixon, 3rd in yards, 3rd in attempts, 16 touchdowns this year. Tied for 4th in the league. He'll go to the Pro Bowl for a first time. And you mentioned the game with the Raiders and the Bengals for Week 11. He had a huge game in that one, 123 yards. The Raiders took away the passing attack, and they had to turn to Mixon, and they got the job done in the desert.
They did 30 carries. They really rode his back in that game.
2nd and 6. Burrow to Chase. Boy, they are so on the same page. Unbelievable college teammates in 2019. Chase sat out last year. He opted out in college, comes into the NFL this year as the number 5 pick, and he and the number 1 pick from the year before are dialed in.
Yeah, trust and confidence with this route. He's throwing it before Jamar Chase gets out of that break. And Jamar Chase is so strong and physical. In fact, talking to some of his former LSU coaches, they used to watch a lot of film on Michael Thomas with the New Orleans Saints, just watching how physical he was at the top of his routes, something Jamar Chase has been working on, doing a very good job with.
Goes down from the 31, play action. Burrow's going to set up a screen now. Mixon's got a couple of blockers. He's on the move. 1st and goal for the Bengals at the 10-yard line. Gain of 21 as Mixon out of the backfield. He caught 42 this year.
Yeah, with every good offense, you got to work in a good screen game. This time to Joe Mixon. Also, when you have a really good pass rush team, great way to slow them down, invite them upfield, get your blockers down the field, get it to a guy like Joe Mixon. What DB wants to tackle this guy in the open space?
No, thank you. Touch of the 10, 1st and goal. Burrow hot in the opening drive. To the corner, and T. Higgins couldn't catch it. He tried to keep his feet in bounds and grab the ball in front of Casey Hayward. Higgins, the 2nd-year man out of Clemson. So you're in the red zone against the Raiders, and you better think you're going to score a touchdown, because the Raiders had a historically bad red zone defense this year. 43 times in, 35 touchdowns allowed. Not only this year, but last for the last 30 years. So red zone defense for the Raiders, essential if they want to pull a road upset here in Cincinnati.
Yeah, a lot of it's been zone defense. They've given up a lot of passing touchdowns out here. 20 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
Toss, Mixon, got a couple of blockers. Gets to the 6-yard line. He'll set up 3rd and goal now for Cincinnati. Already 10 minutes through this opening quarter. This is the opening Bengals drive.
Yeah, watch Max Crosby. You want to know another way to slow down defensive ends? You crack block them. This is the second outside crack play that the Bengals have run. So you got to send a message very early that Max Crosby, we're not just going to let you speed rush upfield and run all these counter moves on our tackles because we know we'll be in for a long day. So you find ways to chip him, nudge him, crack him, let him know it's going to be a long day.
Zach Taylor switched running back. Samaje Perine in. 3rd and goal for Burrow. He throws it to the end zone. Touchdown! Burrow with the quick strike. And C.J. Uzomah gives you a Nicky shuffle as the Bengals take the lead.
Yeah, watch out, Joe Burrow, very quick and decisive. Watch his feet and how quick he gets this ball out. But he's looking at this window right here. Tight window throws down in the red zone. They are at a premium. The ability to get 6 points instead of 3 down here in playoff games. That's why you have a guy like Joe Burrow. The weapons on the outside. Tight window throws down here. Great throw.
Rookie Evan McPherson on for the extra point. I'm glad the pressure of the playoffs really shows on Joe Burrow. Opening drive, he came out like it was week 1. Burrow dialed in 5 of 7 on the drive. Finds his tight end, C.J. Uzomah, posted up in the end zone. Gave you a little Nicky shuffle at the back end, gave you a little gritty dance. Give the Bengals the lead. Look over from Kentucky, over the bridge, over the Ohio River, to the Cincinnati fans who have just so excited for this game. This city was buzzing all week. On the secondary market, this was the toughest get-in ticket as of this morning of the 6 wildcard playoff games. Tailgating started early, and the partying may go late into the night if the Bengals get that 3-decade-long playoff drought to come to an end. McPherson the kickoff. Johnson will let it go. And the Raiders will start their second drive of the wild card game at the 25. Through the Cincinnati defense that the Raiders are facing, this is the defense that, you know, the offense steals the headlines. What do you think of the group that Lou Anarumo is the coordinator of?
I think Lou has done a tremendous job with his defense and really bringing in a bunch of free agent acquisitions that are veteran guys from winning programs, used to being part of winning cultures, really to establish the culture.
25, first down, and Carr throws. Good patience, good protection. Zay Jones, his second grab, a 13-yarder, and a first down to the 38.
Yeah, this is a nice job by Zay Jones. He acts like he's running a deep over route and then puts his foot in the ground, pivots back out of this. You know, good matchups down the field with these Raiders wide receivers. They can all run, and it's the precision passing game of this West Coast offense that the Raiders execute behind offensive coordinator Greg Olsen.
Three tight ends again, and this one is thrown away by Carr. He saw that Brian Edwards was covered and nothing to do. We're talking about this defense and the free agents that were signed to bring in to change the culture here. Look at this. It's Hendrickson, Ogunjobi from Cleveland, Wuzie from Dallas, Hilton from Pittsburgh. Winning organizations.
Yeah, winning organization. Guys who are used to winning, guys who are used to going to the playoffs. And especially up front, what this has done from a pass rush perspective on that left side. Trey Hendrickson and Ogunjobi have been huge additions up front.
All right, Marcus Mariota is in at quarterback, 24 snaps this year, 21 times they ran, and we have another false start on the Raiders.
False start. Offense, number 74. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
It's on Colton Miller. How hard is it on Mariota, veteran quarterback, started a bunch of games, but to come in with this noise and communicate in silent with this team?
Yeah, obviously they're on the road, so it's going to be silent and gun, and that's typically when Mariota's in, it's exclusively gun, and it's all the read option stuff. So it should be the same between him and Carr. It's really inexcusable. These penalties just become magnified in the playoffs.
So Carr's back in at 2nd and 15. Renfrow had to make a tough catch by his shoulder, but he makes the most out of it. Just like he has his entire career. Makes the most out of it. To the 40-yard line. Gain of 7, 3rd and more manageable.
Yeah, that was good for them to get into a 3rd more manageable situation. But here we are, 2 drives in a row. They had a false start by Waller on the first drive that ended up ending that drive. And that might be what happens again here. These are things that need to get cleaned up by the Raiders.
Third and 8. Blitz comes from the Bengals. And hit from behind. The ball is loose. It's picked up by Ogunjobi. Larry Ogunjobi at the 15-yard line. Hendrickson forced it with the pressure off the edge. Ogunjobi scooped it. And the Bengals are in great position.
Yeah, former teammate here, Trey Hendrickson. They're trying to block him with Foster Moreau. That's not a good matchup for them. Trey has speed to the outside. Just the tomahawk chop to get the ball out. He's a guy who, especially on 3rd down, is going to speed rush, generate power, hit you with counter moves. He's got a ton of variety. But, man, when you need a big play, he came up with it for the Bengals right there.
Was the tight end single blocking because of the pressure shown by the Bengals?
Yeah, you keep a tight end in when you're going to max protect. They brought the back across, which told me, hey, they were ready to be in a 7-man protection, but you're not going to want to isolate your tight end on an elite pass rusher like that.
Carr's had fumble problems. Massive mistake by the Raiders. Bengals opportunity. Mixon gains 5. Devon Diablo with the tackle at the 10-yard line. You mentioned the fumbles with Carr since 2014. The most fumbles and fumbles lost in the league this year. It happened 5 times.
You talk about playoff football too. These penalties and turnovers are important in the regular season, but they're just magnified in the playoffs. You cannot give this offense a short field.
2nd and 5. Boyd comes in motion. The pitch to Mixon. Couldn't get through the blockers, and what a play coming across the field by Max Crosby. 2nd team All-Pro, going to the Pro Bowl. Man, does he come around and make so many of those tackles.
Yeah, sometimes you say, hey, we're just going to run away from the best player. Well, when the guy's got a motor like this, that relentless pursuit, you say, yeah, you may run away from me, but I'm just going to go ahead and run it down.
I'm glad you said relentless. He played 82 of the 93 plays against the Chargers on Sunday night. And remember, that was the last game. This is the first game, travel, short week. He's still going. Snap infraction on the Bengals, going to make it 3rd and 8.
Yeah, and it was the same effort on every play too. It wasn't like there was any loafs out there.
False start. Offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
It's unfair to give that to Adeniji. This center was still holding the ball at the end. The rest of the line moved. In any case now, Drew, you have this great opportunity to take over on the fumble at the 15. That's one of those you got to feel on the sideline. We got to get a touchdown out of this down here.
Absolutely, especially when you grab that momentum like that, and here you are just having a penalty, put you in a 3rd and long. But you have to love the matchups that you have in this game and the trust and confidence you have in your quarterback Joe Burrow to make good decisions.
Get a first down at the 5. Burrow's got nothing. Keeps the play alive, and now we'll just throw it away, and it will be a field goal attempt. And that's a win for the Raiders. If they can get out of here with just 3, that is very big in terms of momentum.
Yeah, certainly with the field position that you gave them. That was a really nice job by the defense to get the stop.
They'll bring on Evan McPherson. We talked about good kickers both ways in this wild card game. 5th round pick out of Florida. Usually you wait till the 6th round to think about taking a kicker unless he's special. And Darren Simmons, the special teams coach, told me this week he had exceptional talent in terms of his leg when he saw him down at his pro day in Florida. He's proved it with the Bengals this year, and he knocks it through from 31 yards. The turnover turns into 3. Cincinnati 10, Las Vegas 3 after the Carr turnover forced by Hendrickson. How ironic was it that the temperature at the start of the day here was 31 degrees, all the talk of the 31-year drought. There's a bad kickoff by McPherson that was grabbed. Did he grab it with a foot out of bounds? No. He grabbed it before he put a foot out of bounds, and that's a big mistake there by Peyton Barber. If Barber puts 1 foot on the white stripe and then grabs it, then it's out of bounds kickoff, and you get the field position advantage. Now the Raiders start at their own 2.
Yeah, you know, that's one of those situations that you actually work in special teams period. I can recall every year going through that a number of different times. Anytime that ball is close to the sideline, put your foot out of bounds first and then grab the ball. And since you've established yourself out of bounds, you're going to get the ball at the 40 instead. Man, you put yourself in a big hole here sitting at the 2-yard line with this crowd noise.
McPherson hit a bad kick, bailed out by an awful mistake by Barber. So from the 2, trying to get out of the end zone, Jacobs dancing back there. He had to because there was nothing open. He was fortunate to get to the 4-yard line and pick up 2 on this, the start of the 3rd Raiders drive. Yeah, but Drew, you said it. A couple of penalties, the turnover, that play. Playoff mistakes
and self-inflicted wounds. You know, there's penalties that are going to happen within the course of play that are inevitable, but not ones that you can certainly help. And putting yourself in situations like this.
And another one. We'll go back to where the drive started at the 2.
False start. Offense in the 75. Goal, 2nd down.
Earlier this week in his weekly press conference, Zach Taylor said he implored the fans, we need the jungle to be loud. Fans have waited a long time, 2015 last home playoff game. We need you. It's a difference, and it's making a difference so far.
Yeah, listen, it's tough to go vocal cadence under center when you're tucked down in an opposing team's end zone area because you've got all those fans right behind you in your ear. It is hard to hear.
After 2nd and 10 from his own end zone, Carr finds Waller. Good place to go to the 8-yard line. Jermaine Pratt, the tackle, as we get to the dying seconds of this opening quarter.
You know, it's funny, it's counterintuitive, but you almost say, hey, I'd rather just get in gun. Everybody knows the rhythm of the silent count as opposed to trying to go vocally under center. So you notice they go to gun there just to try to get a quick completion, get them into a 3rd manageable.
3rd down coming up as we begin the 2nd quarter. After 1 in Cincinnati, Bengals 10, Raiders 3. The AFC Wildcard playoff continues from Ohio after these messages. Second quarter is set to begin. Our aerial coverage brought to you by Geico. Mike TIRICO, Drew Brees, Catherine Tappan with you from Cincinnati as the playoffs begin. Patriots and Bills with another AFC Wildcard game tonight. That's over on CBS. 3rd and 4 for Carr and the Raiders at their own 8. Again, the Bengals bring pressure. Carr in trouble. He's sacked. Won't be a safety. They'll mark him just outside at the half-yard line. But the pressure from Sam Hubbard, the Cincinnati native.
Nice job. Sam Hubbard actually goes off the ball and lines up in a linebacker position. They ran a game that allowed him to stunt. The center gets picked here as he's trying to come around to Hubbard. Really nice blitz design by that Bengals front because they had Hunter Renfrow open.
A.J. Cole backed up. Big kick at a good time. Trent Taylor goes back to the 43 with some space for the return. The Bengals will start on the Raiders' side of midfield for the 2nd straight possession. But a huge time for a guy who averaged 50 yards per punt to kick one 54 yards. Just 5 yards on 7 plays, the last 2 drives for Derek Carr and the Raiders offense. Turnover and then backed up to their own 1. So that means back-to-back Joe Burrow drives start in Raiders territory. This one at the 45.
Well, the first thing I notice here, is that Max Crosby's not in the game. So I'm thinking as a play caller, you know what, their best pass rusher's out. This is our time to take a shot.
Begins with a run with Mixon to the left for 5 yards. Joe takes it to the 40-yard line. Is Crosby. Carl Nassib was in on that tackle as Crosby gets a break for the moment.
You know, Nassib is really their run-stopping defensive end. Obviously comes in to spell Crosby, but Crosby rarely comes out of the game. He's such an every-down player. But really, as a play caller, look, these are the moments where you start thinking, all right, while their best pass rusher's out, let's take advantage of that.
We're good.
Chase, jet sweep, come around the right side, use his speed to get a first down to the 33-yard line. As the Bengals have picked up 6 first downs in their first 15 plays here this evening.
Yeah, Jamar Chase, he reminds me so much with the ball in his hands of Deebo Samuel. And these are all the things that you see San Francisco doing with Deebo Samuel. They're almost built like their lower body like running backs. And you see what they do when they have the ball in their hands, yards after the catch. In fact, those 2 guys were tops in the league.
It's an interesting comparison. Samuel's so much thicker up top that you don't think of that right away, but we talked about it earlier. That strength, that core body strength that he has. First down, Burrow, out quick to Mixon. A lot of Raiders over here, and Mixon won't go anywhere. Well covered by Las Vegas, a loss of 2. Desmond Trufant, the veteran corner, a lot of time in Atlanta, Detroit, makes the play there.
Yeah, it's one of those things with Jamar Chase that you don't see just from watching him on TV, but he's got a lower half that's built like a running back. In fact, some of the coaches from LSU said that had he wanted to play running back at LSU, he would have been the best running back. It says a lot based on what his production was at the wide receiver position, but it also shows the flexibility you can have with a guy like that on offense.
2nd and 11, Burrow protected to Chase, back shoulder, comes down with it at the 8. The veteran Trufant asks for the pass interference and the push-off. Not called by the field judge. 1st and goal, Raiders. Officially a gain of 29.
Yeah, it's safe to say anytime you get one-on-one with Jamar Chase, you're going to take advantage of that. You got veteran Trufant running with him, but there's such a great rapport and chemistry between those two that if he's got him beat deep, Joe Burrow knows to put it over the top. If he's underneath him, hey, I'm going to throw this firm back shoulder. Jamar Chase knows it's coming, able to make the adjustment.
Usually the 9-year vet gets the call against the rookie. There it's the other way. Tough call against the Raiders. 1st and goal from the 6. Burrow scans, scrambles, throws end zone incomplete. Mixon wants the pass interference with the defensive hold. Nothing happening with Roger Teamer in coverage. And good pressure by Crosby back in the game for the Raiders.
Yeah, it was a 3-man rush by the Raiders this time. You see them doing this more over these last couple of games where, you know, they've been very bad in the red zone. So you think, you know, how can we help this red zone defense? Let's drop another man in coverage, take away some of those underneath throws. Did a nice job of covering up all the routes, forcing the throwaway.
Coach Gus Bradley, you see the numbers for the pressure rate for this team. They don't usually bring an extra body. The 7, inside give Mixon, looking for a hole to open. Raiders did a good job there, and again they'll force big 3rd downs. It's often said, here comes a big 3rd down. Every play in a playoff game is big, right? But the momentum is so with Cincinnati right now. The Raiders really need to try to hold them to a field goal again.
Yeah, this is where games are won and lost in the playoffs. Your ability to get down inside the 10, inside the 5, and convert that into a touchdown versus a field goal. These are the difference makers.
Boyd and Chase to the left. Higgins and the tight end Uzama to the bottom. Burrow, first look covered. Tries to keep it alive. Cannot do it. He's brought down. Huge play by Quentin Jefferson. The veteran got a hand on Burrow, brought him down. And the Raiders defense again, worst in the league in the red zone. Back-to-back stops.
Yeah, it's a really nice job by this front and good coverage by the Raiders. You know, they shifted late, so they ended up getting 4-on-3 in a zone coverage to the right. Really took away all the routes. Nobody's open. Joe Burrow trying to buy a little bit extra time. But that Raiders front, especially as of late, and the way that they rotate and keep their defensive linemen fresh, they can tune up that pass rush.
30-yarder for McPherson. Perfect in this range of field goal this year. This is a little draw on that kick. Knocks it through from 30. And the Bengals, 3 drives, 3 scores. Up 10. A great look at the sun setting here in Cincinnati, and it feels like the sun's rising on a new era of Bengals football to a lot of these fans. 38-year-old Zach Taylor in his 3rd year. Started out 0-11. Couldn't imagine in 2019 they'd be in this spot. Returnable kickoff for Tyron Johnson of the Raiders. They need a big play, and Johnson accelerates near the 40-yard line. That is good field position at a desperately needed time. Well, the game's been up and down, so is the season for Rich Bisaccia and the entire Raider organization. I think you know the story, but go back. They were a first-place team at the end of September. 3-0 to start, some wild finishes with Baltimore and Pittsburgh and Miami. And then changes, the turmoil, John Gruden out as coach. The average margin of defeat was 17. They were 3-7. But with fortitude coming back the last 4 here, all chips are pushed in. The Raiders cashed, and they made it to the playoffs. First down run, Jacobs open space, shoulders down to the 47-yard line. Good first down run for Jacobs of 14.
I love that opening play there. You have to feed Josh Jacobs as much as you can in this game. I know things have not gone the way that you wanted to start this game. Penalties have killed drives. Gotten to 3rd and longs, which has allowed the Bengals to tune up that pass rush. That is what's going to neutralize this defensive front and really help out your offensive line, your ability to run the football.
We're good. Push it. Hey, 33. 33.
Jacobs right, big opening there, and Jacobs into the secondary, pulling away from Bell. Jacobs caught from behind at the 12-yard line. What a run by Jacobs for the first down. 35 on that gallop, and the Raiders are in the red zone. Mike Hilton with a touchdown, with a tackle, I should say, saving a touchdown.
Yeah, I love this inside zone running scheme, especially as you send Hunter Renfrow in motion. Watch what that does to the defense. It forces everybody to bump. It changes their gap responsibilities, and now you've put a safety in a linebacker position. Jesse Bates now has a guard that he's got to shed, which he's not able to. Pops open a big hole for Josh Jacobs. Those are the types of run schemes that the Raiders have done so well this year.
Right back to him. Jacobs gets 2 to the 10-yard line. That carry of 35 was longer than any run the Raiders had in the regular season. Their longest run came on their first run of the year. That was by Marcus Mariota, the quarterback. So the Raider run game with an explosive play really helping Greg Olsen calling plays.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, especially when you watch Josh Jacobs run, that he hasn't had one longer than that. But he's the kind of guy who gets stronger as the game goes on. His yards per carry goes up, and especially as you get to the 4th quarter and all the overtime games they've played in.
2nd and 8. 5 in the pattern for Carr. In trouble, gets away, throws on the run, incomplete. A tight window for Foster Moreau. Blanketed by Mike Hilton, who's been very active here. And it's 3rd and goal.
It was really a nice job in coverage there by the Bengals. They actually took care of those edge rushers who ended up getting on Carr late. Carr does a nice job of scrambling, but again, these are the 3rd long situations you don't want to be in against this Bengal defensive front. All these 3rd downs is when they've been able to get their pressures. Sacks, forcing Carr to scramble, and the sack fumble.
May need a timeout here. Bisaccia's walking down, sees the Carr has it under control, doesn't take it. 3rd and 8. Carr throws, and it's through the hands of Deshaun Jackson, incomplete. One of the reasons he was thinking about the timeout, Zay Jones was in the huddle. Deshaun Jackson came in late to the huddle, delayed him getting to the line of scrimmage, and they'll try a field goal.
Yeah, watch up front here. They do a really nice job of protection. It's a bracket quarters coverage, meaning the safeties are low. They're doubling Renfrow inside. They're doubling Waller inside. So the one-on-one matchup is exactly where Carr went to Deshaun Jackson. In a game like this, you got to make that play.
Absolutely. That's a drop in a big spot. Carlson from 28. Tough to handle snap. Good job by A.J. Cole. the all-pro punter, to place it down. Carlson knocks it through. His second one, 7-point game, about halfway through the second quarter. Cincinnati on this Saturday evening, 13-6. That 35-yard kickoff return was very big for the Raiders. Tyron Johnson gave him some field position. The runs by Jacobs were effective. Look at that big 35-yarder. And the Carlson field goal, and the ball falling off the tee with this breeze. It's about 10 miles an hour. Started the day with a 31-degree temperature at kickoff. Still around there now. That breeze makes it feel like it is around 20 degrees. No precipitation. It is dry. They're expecting a little bit of precipitation here tomorrow. Big winter storm coming through. They're trying to kick away from Chris Evans, who let it go through his hands, muffed it, picked it up with one hand, and takes it to the 18. A little bit of that kickoff return inexperience of Evans. Here's Catherine Tappan.
And there you see Joe Burrow. Well, he was raised in nearby Athens, Ohio. The small town is about a 2.5-hour drive east of Cincinnati, and it's nearly equidistant to Cleveland and Pittsburgh. So NFL fandom is split. But Joe's father, Jimmy, told me there's a lot of long-standing Steelers and Browns fans in Athens, but they've turned and they cheer for Joe. You see a lot more Bengals flags, especially in our neighborhood. Now, there are a few watch parties in Athens tonight, but Burrow's family is right here at Paul Brown Stadium, Mike.
His dad was a coach and explained some of the great cerebral qualities he has. Throws here on first down, complete to C.J. Uzomah to the 23-yard line. So he was Mr. Football in the state of Ohio in 2014. And then 7 years later, they named the stadium after him. Joe Burrow Stadium. Look, if you win the Heisman, nobody's going to top it. They may equal it. Nobody's going to top it. So we'll give you the stadium when you're in your 20s.
Hey, well deserved. I came up a little short. They didn't. My high school didn't name it after me.
Well, you got players rolling through Austin Westlake High School in Texas there, but
that's right. It's a factor.
We can make a call or a donation, see if they'll do that for you. Mix it 2nd and 5. Try to get to the edge. Chase was there. It's a 3-yard gain. You know, what's interesting, we talk about Burrow and his youth at this point. He's 25 years old. He's older than Lamar Jackson and Daniel Jones and Sam Darnold, Kyler Murray, those other young guys in the NFL. So although he's only a couple years in the league, he is a little bit older.
Yeah, but with that has come experience. You know, from his time in Ohio State, not having a chance to be the starter there, transferring to LSU, obviously the success he had there, the injuries he's had to go through, the adversity. You feel like he's an old soul at 25.
Empty on 3rd and 1. And the throw is caught by Tyler Boyd, slot receiver, for the first down to the 33-yard line. So that'll keep the chains moving for this Cincinnati offense. Burrow's last 2 games out of this world. Second to Dak Prescott in NFL history for the most passing yards in back-to-back games. 525 against Baltimore. That Baltimore team was playing a lot of replacements in the secondary. But then 446 in the gotta-have-it game against Kansas City that won them the division. 8 touchdowns, no picks. And he's picked up pretty close to that so far here in the wild card game. Inside run is blown up there. It'll be a loss of a yard. Is Damian Square, who's playing because of Darius Philon's injury. We have not mentioned that yet for the Raiders, but if you watch the Sunday night game, Philon was such a big factor in the interior. He hurt his knee. He is out here for the postseason, so the veteran Square is seeing more time.
Yeah, can't say enough about that defensive line coach, Rod Marinelli, and the way he gets that defensive line playing. That's a relentless bunch. They keep them rotating, keep them fresh.
2nd and 11 for Burrow. Intermediate throw caught by Uzomah, having a big first half. Dropped in perfectly to the 40-yard line. First down, Cincinnati.
Yeah, so this is the Seattle 3 defense, but Gus Bradley plays a lot more 2 safety shell defense. Joe Burrow recognizes it, sees his tight end, watch this tight window throw, getting this ball up and down to C.J. Uzomah right off the helmet.
Divine Diablo played safety at Virginia Tech, but ball skills and awareness weren't going to help you there. That was a rope over his ear for 29 to Uzomah.
We always say no defense for a perfectly thrown pass.
From the 40. Burrow taking a deep shot. Downfield for Chase. Broken up and incomplete. Casey Hayward, the veteran, running with him and did not let Chase get behind him. Big stop by the Raiders secondary.
Hey, you knew it was only a matter of time before they were going to take a shot. This one is on the veteran, Casey Hayward. He's played a lot of football, so he gave Jamar a little more cushion. Really has great ball skills. He always has throughout his career. Just plays that ball very well. Underthrown a little bit, but nice play by the defense.
Chris Evans, the rookie from Michigan, is the running back here, and he'll take the carry and take it for 9 yards to the 31. A good pop by Evans, who only ran 17 times, 7 of those coming last week against Cleveland when almost all the Bengals starters rested.
Yeah, this is a read option play. Actually, Joe Burrow reading the defensive end, Max Crosby. Nice job of that left side of the offensive line, which is really the strength of this Bengal offensive line. Blowing up in a nice hole for Chris Evans.
So all of a sudden, at 2nd and 10, Zach Taylor's calling 3rd and 1. Last 3rd and 1, they went empty with no backs. Here it's Mixon. He's releasing to catch it. Inside for Boyd, it's incomplete. Broken up by Nate Hobbs, the rookie out of Illinois. And they'll set up 4th down, and the fans immediately say go. And Joe Burrow says, quiet, we're going to.
He said, quiet down, of course we're going for it.
And going for it on 4th down, so much more common. Bengals were very good at it this year. 13 of 20 on 4th down conversions. And on 4th and 1, outstanding. Trying to take away the sneak, so Chase runs to the edge, got a block and got a lot more than the 1st down to the 16-yard line. Speed of Chase on the edge for 15 yards with a good block by T. Higgins.
I love the philosophy here. So Joe Burrow starts and gun. When he goes under center, they think quarterback sneak. Watch how the D linemen tighten up, which is what allows Jamar Chase to come in motion and get outside to get the big play in the 4th down conversion. I love the scheme. I love the game plan call by offensive coordinator Brian Callahan.
He and Zach Taylor communicating on every play call. Bengals have been inside to the 8 and the 4 last 2 drives. The 16, Burrow stays alive in the pocket. Mixon. Or about 2 as Teamer and Diablo stop him on the sideline. You gave mention of Brian Callahan, his dad Bill Callahan, longtime, revered as one of the best offensive line coaches in the NFL. Brian's 37. He's been in the NFL for quite some time. Spent 6 years in Denver, was a quarterback coach in Detroit, and now the offensive coordinator here with Zach Taylor. We have Divine Diablo of the Raiders injured. He was one of the 2 silver and black defenders making the tackle on the edge on Mixon. So the athletic training staff out to look at Diablo with 2.5 left in the half. This is kind of a picture of the first half. Bengals offense in the red zone against the Raiders. This is their 3rd time in this quarter. All 4 drives have taken Cincinnati down into the red area against Las Vegas. Divine Diablo walked off under his own power with the athletic training staff. Corey Littleton and KJ Wright have come in for the Raiders defensively on 2nd and 5. Toss Mixon's got a couple of blockers, but the Raiders do a good job of sifting through and making it 3rd down for Cincinnati. Tackled by Jonathan Hankins. Max Crosby was over there to cause havoc, as well as we hit the 2-minute warning. So another 3rd down for Cincinnati in the red zone. See if they can punch it in. Burrow and the Bengals getting good field position, but only a field goal out of that, which has been part of the story. We mentioned Joe, and we talked to you about his high school success. His dad here in the stands watching. There's Jimmy Burrow, a former coach in the college game. He coached his son as well, so he's got great feel for the game. 3rd and 4 coming up here for the Bengals. 5 in the pattern, Burrow. Tries to keep it alive, scrambles, throws it back in the end zone, but was he out of bounds first or is it a touchdown? I think he was out of bounds. They're discussing it. Caught in the back by Boyd. Conversation on the sideline here for the moment. No signal yet. Jerome Boger, the referee's over here on the sideline. As they are in conversation, was he out when he threw?
The result of the play, touchdown.
Touchdown! And it certainly will get closer inspection. And Tyler Boyd goes up to celebrate in any case. Let's see. Yep, that's fine. He is hanging in the air. What a job by Burrow to keep that alive and get it to Boyd in the back of the end zone. The Bengals take a 19-6 lead. And Evan McPherson on for the extra point. And knocks it through. So the very last second, Burrow off that knee injury, that mobility back. He feels as confident as he has since that ACL injury. Scrambled, kept it alive. The touchdown in the back to Tyler Boyd. Bengals up 14 back in 30 seconds. After this from AWS. Well, play like that is why Cincinnati is calling Joe Burrow our guy and Mr. Cincinnati. What a play, keeping that one alive to find Boyd for the touchdown on the back line, 20-6.
Yeah, it really, Raiders defense has played well down there in the red zone. They're doing some different things. They're dropping 8. They're mixing up the coverages. On that last one, they dropped 8. Crosby did a nice job getting pressure, but Joe Burrow.
Aaron Johnson, no room to run. He's taken down back at the 20-yard line. Raiders got to get something going. Big drive here. Carr throws. It is dropped by Brian Edwards and incomplete. Minute 39, all timeouts for the Raiders. Knowing the Bengals get the ball to start the second half. Dangerous spot here because the Raiders defense has not stopped Cincinnati at all.
Really important that they can get something going here, at least get a few first downs, try to go down and get points. You have to think about Waller and Renfro in these situations. Work in the middle of the field. You're probably going to get a lot of shell coverage. That's where the holes in the defense are.
Here's an underneath throw, caught by Renfro, pulled down harshly, gain of 7. Logan Wilson drags him down. It's third down, spinning clock under 90 seconds. Just glad to see Renfro's okay after that. A little confusion here. Deshaun Jackson coming in, Zay Jones out. Raiders going to huddle.
Yeah, you've got man coverage. You can feel the corners going to match up with their receivers.
3rd and 3, pressure off the edge, and underneath it's Edwards with a big gain. And Edwards will take it to the 46. Certainly the Raiders will take a timeout here. Or is he out of bounds first? Yes, out of bounds, so 55. No reason for the Raiders to use one of their 3. It's a big play to keep this drive going and not give it back to Cincinnati.
Yeah, this was a nice job by the Raiders. They motion down Edwards. They actually get a pick. You see how Renfro runs up through the defender with his defender. Open up that shallow cross. Big play in man coverage on those shallow crosses.
The 46, Carr again working the middle. That time for Jones. Incomplete. With Awuzie, the former Cowboy, covering.
Yeah, it's interesting what the Bengals have done. They're playing a lot of man coverage right now, just in various forms. They brought in one of their bigger corners, Trey Flowers, to actually match Darren Waller man-to-man. He's actually been open 2 plays in a row. Let's see if they go back to that.
Second and 10, pressure on Carr, just going to get rid of it. Sam Hubbard with the pressure. There was no Trey Hendrickson in on that snap, but Hubbard, who's had a good first half, brought the heat.
Yeah, this right side of the line has really struggled. This is just a simple game, a TE. Tackle goes upfield and comes inside. Alex Leatherwood, the right guard, really struggled this year. Wasn't able to pick that up.
Third and 10. Carr going to take off. Can he get there? Absolutely, and more. Flag is down, though, as Carr gets to the 34-yard line. Carr down, flag down in the secondary, and it's going to be a hold on the Bengals. So the gain will stand.
During the run, holding, defense, number 20. 5-yard penalty as it is in the play. First down.
Yeah, how do you cover Renfro? Well, you hold him. Mike Hilton has a tough job today. He's got to run all over the field with him, fight through picks in order to get it. Just hooked his hip there.
So 37 seconds left. Raiders been able to get down here and preserve all 3 timeouts. So all options open for Carr. Again, huge drive for the Raiders, with the Bengals getting the ball to start the second half. 29, trying to get it out to Jalen Richard. They do. He'll gain 4 to the 25. And Rich Bisaccia will take the first of the 3 timeouts. 31 to go. Second and a long 5 coming up for Derek Carr and the Raiders in 30 seconds. Second and 6 coming here for the Raiders at the 25 of the Bengals. We'll go back to the last touchdown. We were talking about this in the break. I stopped calling the play. We all stopped. The Raiders stopped. I want you to listen to the play. Listen for the whistle as Burrow is just about to throw. Right there it comes. I don't know if it made a difference in the play, but it was certainly an erroneous whistle. Terry, anything replay could have cleaned up, by the way, on that play?
No, replay, that is not a reviewable play. Once they've ruled him out of bounds, it's over. They also can't fix the erroneous whistle. What they should have done, because it was an erroneous whistle, was actually replay the down because it was a loose ball in flight.
That's why there was so much conversation.
Right. They can't have a touchdown on that play by rule.
From the 25-yard line, this is 2nd and 6 for Carr. Throws it over the middle, incomplete. Tried to get Waller, and he was open too. It'll set up 3rd down and 6 here with 27 seconds left.
Yeah, that's a full blitz cover 0 look. So they've got one more than they can block. So it's just a full slide protection. Hubbard's going to come free. Carr has to get the ball out. So that's just one as a receiver. A little bit of a sense of urgency. Get your head around a little bit faster. Be ready for the ball.
The coordinators calling plays. 3rd and 6. So it's play clock here.
Yeah, it's another. It looks like a full blitz look. We'll see if they bring it or drop out.
Timeout called. Raiders got the timeout. Officials coming in from the top, and he will say to Boger, I got the timeout before the snap. And we'll hear Jerome here in a second. So Bisaccia did that on the sideline, so we'll have 3rd down coming up with 27 seconds left. Let's go back to that touchdown, because that will be talked about, and that will be discomforting to the Raiders, because it really did feel like everybody just kind of stopped for a half second.
As it was happening live, I definitely heard the whistle before the ball was caught, and so it did seem like everyone let up there for a moment. It's unfortunate for the Raiders.
And it's interesting timing of the whistle there on the sideline, because it does come so late, you know, as Burrow's step comes out of bounds. Listen one more time. And that lengthy conversation continued before Boger said touchdown. And obviously the Nats sound and replay is not something that sinks together to look at it. Here's 3rd down, linebacker out on Jalen Richard is at the bottom of the screen. Marcus Bailey's covering him. And Carr goes that way, but it's Waller with the catch of the 1st down. Out of bounds for the Raiders at the 14-yard line. 23 seconds and a timeout remaining.
Yeah, we talked about this matchup earlier in this drive. They bring in Trey Flowers. It's dime. He's a big corner who they feel can match up with Darren Waller, but really nice move to the line of scrimmage by Waller. And if they're going to play more man, I think that's a matchup you like on this drive.
All right, Drew, what are we thinking here now with one timeout and 23 seconds left as a quarterback and a play caller?
Well, with the timeout, that gives you access to the entire offense. You can run the ball here if you want. You can throw a screen. You can throw something to the middle of the field. Really, the objective would be to get down inside the 7-yard line, call your timeout, and then just take a bunch of shots at the end zone.
Boy, no delay of game called. Off just in time. Carr throws it incomplete as Richard got knocked down. The Raiders got to get the plays in here soon. That's 3 times on this drive. They were at the dying second of the play clock and weren't really ready. Inexcusable at this point in the game.
Yeah, you really want to think tempo. You know what you're getting defensively. They've been playing dime defense. That was a snap of nickel. They stay in nickel here, so they've got 5 DBs, 2 linebackers. But again, you have the full access within the offense. Try to get the ball in the middle of the field.
And he throws there to Zay Jones, who comes down with it for a touchdown. A huge play for the Raiders as Zay Jones was in coverage. Eli Apple was there, and Jones pulls it in. The 5th-year man with the touchdown to make it a 20-12 game with 13 seconds left.
Yeah, I love the route concept here. It's going to be a double post. Watch where Derek Carr's eyes are. It's right on that strong safety. He's making sure that the strong safety grabs Hunter Renfrow as the inside receiver, which isolates Zay Jones. You just tell that receiver, make sure you cross the DB's face. He does a great job of it, makes the contested catch. Really nice execution all the way around.
A great strong catch, too. Apple got his arm up in there. Extra point is good from Carlson. 7-point game with 13 seconds left. And I promise we'll be back in 30 seconds. Drew, we were talking to Derek Carr this week, and he was talking about, Renfro's great and Waller's unbelievable. But we couldn't get him to stop talking about Zay Jones. Hardest working person in the NFL, he said. We can't justify that with 1,500 players in the league. But he said every time he runs a practice route, it's full tilt all the time. What does that mean to a quarterback?
I mean, that's the biggest compliment that you could pay someone. He absolutely loves his work ethic. And, he says that about Waller. He says that about Renfro. So when you have a group of guys that day in and day out are coming to work and they're putting in that type of effort, just says a lot about that team, especially the situation they were in this year and all that they had overcome together. But you talk also about just this West Coast offense, the precision of the passing game that is required. Everything is timing and rhythm. And when you can get those full speed reps in practice, that translates to games.
Only other touchdown Jones caught this year in the regular season, 31-yard. Remember the game winner that Monday night in overtime against Baltimore. Big one there. Trent Taylor has now gone back to return kickoffs after Evans dropped one earlier. We'll watch that in the second half. And this may be the only way to stop the Bengals from scoring on a drive. Give it to them with 13 seconds back at the 25.
Yeah, that was a critical drive for the Raiders. Really a lot of self-inflicted wounds thus far in the first half. Offsides, penalties, turnovers, things that have given the Bengals a short field, so they needed that.
Burrow and the Bengals back on the field when the second half begins. At the break here in the Wildcard game. Cincinnati trying to win a playoff game for the first time in 31 years. Leads Las Vegas 20-13.
The AFC playoff picture in full motion. Mac Jones heads to Buffalo later tonight. You got TJ Watt, Patrick Mahomes going to meet Sunday night on NBC. It's an electric atmosphere here in Cincinnati to start this playoff push. The Bengals offense there in that same rhythm, same heater that they finished up the regular season on. What do the Raiders need to fix?
The Raiders are playing like the moment is too big for them. Offensively, Derek Carr needs to stop holding on to the football and start looking for Darren Waller and push the ball down the field. You have Zay Jones, you have Deshaun Jackson. Defensively, they need to be more disciplined in their rush lanes and be able to rush with 4, because there's no way that you can bring that extra pressure and have one-on-one with Jamar Chase and the rest of those wide receivers.
This is the first time we got to see this Bengals offense live in person. Joe Burrow overall, what's your take on his game?
Joe Burrow?
Yeah.
He's really good.
Isn't he?
That's it. He's really good.
He sure is. Jamar Chase made a big play in that first half. CJ as well, finding the tight end. Uzama really getting involved as well.
Absolutely, and you would think how well they dominated the first half that they'll be up by more. So if I'm the Raiders, I'm in that locker room. I'm enthusiastic because we're only down a touchdown.
They turned out the lights on us. I guess that means it's time for us to go. A huge second half coming up from Cincinnati, Ohio. It's a 20-13 ball game. At halftime, Bengals lead, but Derek Carr, he found Zay Jones late. One-score game.
Good plays, a little controversy. Welcome to the playoffs. Cincinnati leading Las Vegas 20-13. Joe Burrow with 146. He had 148 in the game out in the desert in week 11 that the Bengals won. Derek Carr on the ones and twos, 12 of 21 for $121 in his playoff debut. Jamar Chase, 6 touches, all move the chains. 87 yards for the rookie. And the Bengals trying to end that long drought, which is 8 games with a playoff loss. They've led in 7 of them, including that game in here in the 2015 playoffs against Pittsburgh. They had a lead late. So each team scored 10 in the second quarter, and now Derek Carr will wait and watch, see if his Raiders defense can stop Joe Burrow. The 4 full drives, if you exclude the drive at the end where they took a knee, the Bengals have scored. Touchdown, field goal, touchdown. This is the 4-5 game in the AFC, so we're going to have to wait for that Buffalo-New England game coming up later tonight. And then the game on Sunday night with Al, Chris, and Michelle with Kansas City and Pittsburgh to get a sense of who the winner will advance to play in the divisional playoffs next weekend. Started 31 degrees. It's a couple degrees cooler. The wind is still blowing at a good enough clip. The ball just fell off the tee, as a matter of fact, as Daniel Carlson was set to kick it off. Place that finger very lightly there as it brings Trayvon Morgan there, just in case it's going to blow off with the wind. Second half underway here in Cincinnati. Chris Evans kicking into this wind. Had to wait for it at the 9. Tries to get to the edge where he has some blocking, and Evans a nice return here to the 36-yard line. Good start for Cincinnati as we go down to Catherine Tappan.
Well, Mike, Zach Taylor had a very calm demeanor at halftime, and he said his priorities for the second half are to win those turnover battles and finish the touchdowns in the red zone, not settle for field goals. I asked Rich Bisaccia if he thought that play was called dead before the Bengals' Tyler Boyd caught the touchdown pass. He said, we got to move past that. Next question. His message to the team, this is it. Keep winning those games. And Diablo and Jefferson both went to the locker room in the second quarter. Big defensive men out for this team in the second half. And Rich Bisaccia said we just have to find other ways to make up for their absence, Mike.
Quentin Jefferson, huge, a defensive tackle, and Devon Diablo, a starting linebacker. So Mixon runs to the left here. And Drew, you were thinking that's something Cincinnati needs to do more of. Establish a run here in the second half.
Yeah, they weren't really as effective in the first half as I thought they would be. They were having a lot of success in the passing game with the screen game. But watch this, right off the bat, they're going to pull guards, gap scheme, very specific run scheme, really to get things started. I think we're really going to see a heavy dose of Joe Mixon in this second half, in addition to some of these big play opportunities.
And if Quentin Jefferson's done for the game, that's huge, because now you're out Philon, who was injured last week, and Quentin Jefferson, so you're really light on the rotation inside. Burrow over the middle, caught by Chase. So that'll be a non-first down on a touch for Chase, which has been rare here tonight. It's a gain of 4.
Yeah, you know, not all quarterbacks love empty formation. In other words, 5 wide receivers, no backs in the backfield. That's something that Joe Burrow does very well. He sees very well. Typically, you got to be really alert for pressure coming off each edge. But your knowledge of where to go with the football, getting it out of your hands quickly, you see Joe Burrow getting a lot of completions in empty.
Under center, now play action, and he'll throw it over the middle again. It's complete. It's a first down. It's Uzama inside the 45 to the 42-yard line. Good game here for Uzama, the tight end tonight. 4th catch for 50 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, speaking of big plays, I think they missed one. Watch Tyler Boyd right here. Play action, you pull the guard. What does that do? It brings the linebackers up. You had Tyler Boyd running on All Go Special. This special seam is what we call it. Could have been a big play for him there.
Is that why you jumped?
That is why I jumped.
That's why my voice went up, because I saw you jump and you saw it.
I ran the play action. I said, here comes All Go Special.
Toss Mixon on the edge. Has a couple of blockers pulling with him and gets to the 36-yard line.
It was only my favorite play, Mike. So,
I know.
I mean, it's part of my DNA. I can smell it coming.
Well, we did bring a ball up to the booth for you. I thought you were going to pick it up and throw it to him. What's it like in these playoff games for quarterbacks, especially your first one, like Burrow? Is it just another game?
I mean, you can't just say it's just another game, but typically teams come out, and I find that they're a little bit tighter. You know, it's, hey, we can't make mistakes because mistakes are magnified. It usually takes you a little while to get into it. I wouldn't say that's been the case for these guys, though.
No, they've looked good from the start. Chase again to the 28-yard line. And taking the worst of that was Brandon Faison, and the corner is injured. And the Bengals athletic training staff is going to go right there to make sure Faison doesn't make any movements that can do further damage until the Raiders staff gets over there. They're out to look at the fourth-year corner Faison. Not good news that Brandon Faison's going to the blue tent for further medical examination. The good news is that he got up and jogged off after taking that hit from his teammate who was closing, Corey Littleton, the helmet-to-helmet hit on his own teammate. Already without two starters in Diablo and Jefferson. Now a third in the blue tent, so it's getting tougher for the Raiders. Bengals on the move from the 29 with Burrow. Left run from Mixon, thrown down after a gain of 4 by Littleton, who we just mentioned. We have a flag down. And Mixon slow to get up. The Cincinnati team very good in terms of taking few penalties.
Illegal for most offense. If is 7 men on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty, replay, first down.
And there's only the third penalty, all procedural 5-yarders on the Bengals here tonight. They had the fewest penalty yards of any team in the NFL. And only 4 penalties per game on Zach Taylor's team. First and 15, Samaje Perine, who was Mixon's teammate at Oklahoma, is the back. Burrow flushed by Crosby and throws incomplete as Perine was covered. And nice job by the Raiders defense.
Yeah, nice job by Joe Burrow avoiding there, but man, Max Crosby, if you leave this guy one-on-one with any kind of space, watch his variety of rush moves. Here, he's able to get Prince inside. Nice job by Joe Burrow making a miss, but talk about being disruptive in the pass game. If you don't have a plan for this guy, he can wreck your day.
Second team All-Pro, going to the Pro Bowl. 3rd year out of Eastern Michigan. 2nd and 15. Burrow shot down the field for Chase. Got those feet down and inbounds. There is a flag down, but it's caught by Chase. And he's inside the 10 to the 6-yard line. That flag down by the quarterback as well. And Crosby is pleading his case to the collection of officials in conversation. And Vegas have had, let's see. We'll wait to see what the call is here.
The rule on the field is that we have a timeout called by Las Vegas.
I think Jerome was going to say more, and then he booed. He's like, enough. So here's the sync, side by side, the timeout call and the snap. As that player at the top there was running off the field as well. So Hayward saw that he had 12 on the field, tried to get the timeout on his own. The flag was thrown because he didn't get off the field. Chase caught the ball. Crosby could have had a roughing the passer.
There is no roughing the pass on the play. The contact was incidental.
But none of it happened. They got
First
the timeout.
Timeout with a half, cross to Las Vegas.
There's the 12.
Yeah, this actually really heads-up play by Casey Hayward. Understands they're trying to get a quick snap. You got 12 on the field. You know they're going to have a free play. It's just a headsy play by a veteran player.
And Zach Taylor is furious. You see a couple of officials who are wearing outdoor jackets talking with Zach Taylor, and you saw one before with Rich Bisaccia. There are 5 alternate officials for the playoff games to cover in case anyone gets hurt, or in COVID times, obviously, as Faison walks off the field here now. But back to those officials for a second. They are over there on the sideline to help communicate with the head coach quickly so they don't have to have the referee come over every time for explanations. John Hussey is one of the alternates who was on the side talking to Rich Bisaccia. So you see the others over there in conversation. I don't think alternate or working the game, any explanation was satisfactory to Taylor. After all that, it's 2nd and 15 again. And Burrow to take another shot downfield for Higgins, who is battling with Hayward. It's incomplete. We'll set up 3rd down here.
Yeah, he liked his matchup outside. Casey Hayward, who's a smart player, he's off, but he likes that size advantage that he has with T. Higgins. They've made a bunch of these plays this year. Just overthrew it just a tad. So now you're here at 3rd and 15. You know your kicker's got a big leg, but it'd be nice to get him a little bit more yardage. Probably thinking more, just get some positive yards here to get him closer for a field goal.
Higgins has not caught a ball yet. Field goal from here would be 52 yards, so they go to Chase, getting the blocks from Uzama and Pirine, but a good play by Nate Hobbs to take down Chase at the 25. The field goal attempt to be 43 for the rookie McPherson.
Yeah, this is just another way to throw a screen. You're basically getting the ball into Jamar Chase's hands really quickly while you have these blockers out front. So they're kind of slow playing these blocks, making sure the receiver catches the ball first, and then finding their man, seeing if you can split one of these and get the first down. But nonetheless, just a good chunk to get a shorter field goal.
We're just swirling a little bit off the right hash. He draws the ball from 43. Perfect. Great makeup, mental and physical talent of the 5th-round rookie out of Florida. Gives the Bengals a 10-point lead. This cool night, just frigid cold. Be single digits in Buffalo when the Bills and the Patriots play Game 2 of Super Wildcard Weekend. 2 today, 3 tomorrow, including the Sunday nighter with Kansas City and Pittsburgh, and then a playoff game on Monday night. Raiders will take over at the 25, and we take a look at the Walmart Plus 4K Skycam. What do you have for us, Drew?
Yeah, this has been the real difference in this game for the Cincinnati defense. These edge rushers, Hubbard and Hendrickson, and all these plays coming on 3rd down, forcing Derek Carr to scramble and be off schedule. You're never going to be able to block Trey Hendrickson with a tight end, forcing the one big turnover in the game. And then some of the creativity with the pass rush and the pressure schemes, taking Hubbard from his defensive end position, wrapping him in there to get good field position for his offense. That's truly been the difference in the game for the Bengals.
Jacobs' running was effective at the end of the first half, but not here with Jermaine Pratt, along with linebacker Logan Wilson getting it started.
Yeah, watch Jermaine Pratt here. Downhill, he's your thumper. He's your run-defending linebacker who sets the physical presence on that defense. He anticipates it, beats the guard's block. Tackle for loss. Those plays are the ones that now can get you into these 3rd and long situations if they can stop him here.
2nd and 11. Carr is protected. The shot play was covered. He'll come back down and get Waller, the tight end, for the first down. And a gain of 12. And one of the Bengals pass rushers, Larry Ogunjobi, is hopping back behind the quarterback there. And we're going to get the athletic training staff out to look at Ogunjobi. Big part of this team with 7 sacks this year as he got hurt. Myles Garrett, his teammate in Cleveland, says he's a heck of a run defender. Larry Ogunjobi came here to Cincinnati, has had that impact. He is out, taken off on the cart with the leg injury. B.J. Hill is in. Mike Daniels was injured in the first quarter, so they're thin at defensive tackle. See if the Raiders take advantage of that. Jacobs here cannot get out of the arm tackle of Sam Hubbard. He's having a really good game. Mike Hilton's first penetration helped Hubbard get time to make the stop.
Yeah, that's really a heck of a play by Mike Hilton. Watch him here. You know, big free agent signing from Pittsburgh. Something they did there a lot was pressure him off the slot. That's something he's known for. Has a great ability to time it up. And his defensive coordinator, Lou Anarumo, said he's like a pit bull when he gets in that backfield.
2nd and 10. This pass is Brian Edwards going down incomplete. So Edwards couldn't scoop it. from Eli Apple. He disagrees and wants him to go replay it. Raiders have already burned a timeout. Here's a look. I think, let's see all the way through here, the end. It looks like a catch. That's a catch. But now I think New York's helping him here.
On the field is a catch at the 42-yard line.
So that was one of those expedited reviews where the league office, watching all the feeds in New York,
42,
will tell them that it was complete and there's no need for the challenge to happen. Replay assist is what it's technically called.
I think that's an example of the system working correctly.
Right. People wanted the eye in the sky, the college every play reviewed, whole kind of thing. It just expedites the game, and all you want is the right call to be made, and that was, even though Zach Taylor doesn't feel it. It's 3rd and 4.
It's a big play because 3rd long has not treated the Raiders well today, but 3rd and 4 has.
Jalen Richard is the back. Pressure comes late. Carr throws to Renfro. Brings it down, but then loses it. Did he have it long enough? The call on the field is that he had it long enough. 2 feet down, made a move, did something with it, and then fumbled. Now the Raiders are running to the line to try to beat any challenge from Cincinnati. Raiders scrambling to the line. Play is being stopped here as Zach Taylor has thrown the challenge flag. I mean, this has been one of those nights where the officiating is taking center stage. Catch, 2. Let's see, is it 2 or no? We'll bring in Terry McCauley as we look at it there. Terry?
No, Mike, this is an incomplete pass. He gets control and he gets 2 feet down, but he does not perform an outcome to the game by taking an extra step or doing something else. He loses the ball right after that second step comes down. This is incomplete.
It's challenging the rule of the field of a completed catch and a fumble.
It was a heck of a punch out by Jesse Bates, the safety. All right, so this is in the regular, normal, traditional challenge review process.
After reviewing the play, it's an incomplete pass. It'll be 4th down at the 42-yard line. Please set the game clock to 8:32. Cincinnati is not charged. They turn them out.
All right, so there you hear it in break. Renfro couldn't hang on. Good play by Bates. This is the 2nd punt of the game. Both of them by the Raiders. A.J. Cole kicked it. Trent Taylor with the return. And Taylor will bring it back about a dozen yards to the 29-yard line. And that's where the Bengals will take over. So as we said, it's one of those things. You want the games decided on the field, not with calls, but this is certainly one that will be discussed for a while. Very key play. Bengals go up by the score of 20-6. You hear the whistle. Watch 25 for the Raiders. He kind of stops a little bit as the ball is in the air. The ball is caught by Boyd. Even Boyd didn't celebrate right away. Everybody was just in pause mode. We heard the whistle. After consultation with the officials on the field, it was ruled a touchdown. Able to stand. And it's a lead for the Bengals. They've maintained that lead. It's 10 now, and here is the same man who caught that one. Boyd with a physical finish on that pass to get to the 34-yard line. Just to let you know real quick, the NFL has said there will not be a statement about what happened in that play during the game. They'll have a statement after the game, and certainly a conversation with the officials involved before the league makes a statement on it is the proper way to go about that. So that's the housekeeping on that. And as Rich Bisaccia told Catherine, you got to put that behind you. You got to go ahead. You're not going to have it taken away an hour later. Second drive of the half for the Bengals, 2nd and 5. And Boyd caught the first one. Jet sweeps the second one. And a flag comes down as he's down after a gain of 4.
Illegal block in the back. Offense on 73. 10-yard penalty. Replay, 2nd down.
And it's on Jonah Williams, the left tackle.
Yeah, that's a costly one there.
Too, almost felt like it was right at the end there. Here's Williams. There it is. Just the contact on Littleton. The guy ends up making the tackle, but the penalty drives him back. So it's now 2nd and 12 for Burrow. He throws to Higgins, can't bring it in. They continue to work on Hayward on that far side. Desmond Trufant remains a corner as Brandon Faison was taken to the locker room for further examination.
Yeah, they tried in the last drive to run by Casey Hayward. This time, hooking up in front of him, just barely missing outside. But you know, these are the plays you got to make. You don't want to be stuck in 3rd and long situations here after the penalty. Looks like it's a 3-man rush. Let's see if they bring pressure.
The rookie Chris Evans is the back. They do bring 1. They bring 4. Burrow will go down. Sacked by Max Crosby. So the back leaked out. Crosby kept going. And he comes up with a sack to force the Bengals' first punt of the day.
Yeah, you really have to credit Corey Littleton here as well. Max Crosby sets it up with this move, but watch Corey Littleton, bang! Comes in on this stunt, hits the tackle, allows Max Crosby to loop inside and get the sack. But man, when you get in these 3rd long situations, these guys can pin their ears back, especially guys like Max Crosby, and you got no help over there, he's going to get to you quickly.
Veteran Kevin Huber, his first punt of the night, and a good one. Renfro muffs it. Lucky to get back on it at the 27-yard line. A lot of pushing and shoving going on here, but finally it's all done. Well, you know, it's been a tumultuous year for the Raiders. Their head coach John Gruden resigned in October after offensive emails from his personal account were leaked, part of the investigation into the Washington football team. A month later, Henry Ruggs, the receiver, released after being charged with DUI in a fatal car crash. And 1 week later, the other 2020 first-round pick, Damon Arnett, the corner, was released after a disturbing video surfaced of him making death threats while holding a firearm. There's so much that happened in this season. There were several executives in the Raiders organization who were let go before training camp even started. Injuries as usual, and through it all, somehow these guys have found a way. And a lot of the credit goes to the coaches in place, including Rich Bisaccia, the interim head coach. Carr scrambles and throws downfield, and open is Deshaun Jackson. Out of bounds inside the 40. There's a flag down back by Carr.
Holding. Offense. 10-yard penalty. Replay. First down.
Yeah, watch the right guard here, Alex Leatherwood. He's really struggled all year. First-round pick. But he's one-on-one here with B.J. Hill, and watch, he bear hugs him. It's a good call by the officials, but man, these are the things that the Raiders just cannot afford at this point. You have an opportunity for big plays, opportunity to get back into this game, and now you're sitting here at 1st and 20.
And Leatherwood's been part of the story this year as well. 17th overall pick, was supposed to be the right tackle. Didn't do well there in 4 games. Moved him in at right guard. He's continued to struggle. 1st and 20. And Carr, Renfro's got a lot of attention, but he keeps going to the 26-yard line.
Yeah, this is when you as a quarterback need to just calm everybody down, just continue to chip away at this. Trust your playmakers. Trust guys like Renfro, Waller. Be able to hand the ball off to Josh Jacobs. Listen, you're only down 10 points, and there's plenty of time. So think about just methodically putting together a good drive here. Get first down after first down. If the big play opportunities come, great. But otherwise, just be efficient.
2nd and 11. Carr, sideline shot. Edwards trying to come up and get it. Eli Apple stayed there and broke it up. Apple, drafted by the Giants with the 10th overall pick, struggled there, went to New Orleans, was your teammate, did a good job a couple years with the Saints, and now he's here as a Bengal.
Yeah, you know what? He wasn't the starter at the beginning of the year, but he's earned that spot, and he's really come on late. Watch him here. He's very good in press coverage. He feels the receiver's eyes come around, so his eyes come around as well. He's able to not only make the play, but almost knock this ball back inside for an interception.
and 11. No Hendrickson in the game for the Bengals. Renfro over the middle. Big first down to the 42-yard line. The slot machine pays off again. Another third down conversion for Renfro.
Yeah, well, I'm guessing one of these linebackers went the wrong way. Should be buzzing this way. Instead, he buzzes this way. And watch the void that leaves now with Hunter Renfro wide open in the middle of the field. It's just one of those coverage busts. Sometimes you're trying to disguise, drop the wrong direction.
The last couple of plays have not seen Trey Hendrickson. Big pass rushing edge defender for the Bengals. First down run here by Jacobs, who gets better as the game gets longer to the 50-yard line. It's an excellent first down pickup of 8. Under 5 minutes left here in the third.
Yeah, you said it, Mike. You know, the first half of games this year, Josh Jacobs has averaged 3.5 rushing yards, 4.5 yard average in the second half. But these last 3 games in the fourth quarter and overtime, he's averaged 6 yards a carry. So as the game gets going, the more carries he gets, the hotter he gets, and the more that they start really pounding the ball. They need to continue to do that.
Especially the Bengals being down 3 offensive linemen here at the moment. Jacobs, it's Eli Apple coming down for the tackle. It's to the 43-yard line. Mike Daniels and Ogunjobi, the tackles hurt earlier. No Hendrickson on the field right now. Catherine, what do you know?
Well, Trey Hendrickson is being evaluated for a concussion. His return is questionable to this game, Mike.
That's huge. What a difference edge rusher he is. And that changes a lot for the Raiders offensively.
That really changes a lot, especially on third down when you start thinking about your protection plan. But you said it earlier as far as running the football. They only have 2 defensive tackles right now. No ability to rotate. So this is when you just start wearing them down with the run game.
Continuing, Jacobs left. 4, maybe 5 yards on first down, and Jacobs looks like he's ready to go. he's not Zeke, but he's telling you, feed me.
Look, we all saw the game last week, fourth quarter and overtime. You just felt this guy ramping up, and Derek Carr said he's got some of the best vision of any running back I've played with, and he runs angry. And you can see that. He wants the ball. This is when those running backs get in the huddle and say, just feed me, keep feeding me.
Cam Sample, rookie out of Tulane, is now in the lineup for the Bengals on that defensive front. 2nd and 5, Jacobs. Again, good hard run. Right at the marker, very close to a first down. Flag is down, though. And this one going to come back.
Holding. Offense. And 68. 2-yard penalty. Replay. 2nd down.
Andre James, the center. The Raiders have penalties starting to mount up. They've been at bad times for Las Vegas.
This is what can't happen. Just watch the center match up here on the nose. You're getting a little bit of a double team. You're getting help. That's fine. You're in good position. Just keep your hands inside. Instead, you can see him have the outside shoulder pad there. If the refs see that, they'll call it every time.
2nd and 15. Hard to work. Jacobs underneath and gets some of that yardage back. Shy of the 40. He'll set up third, about 7 with 2.5 to go. You know, Derek Carr, you think about the 2016 season. Greg Olson was his quarterback coach, offensive coordinator when he first came to the Raiders as a 2nd-round pick. He was so excited to have the chance to play in a playoff game because he missed the one in 2016 when he injured his leg late in the season.
Yeah, and his late game heroics this year, 6 walk-offs, the way that he's played big in big moments, he deserves to be here.
And his leadership has been huge in the tumult of the Raiders season. 3rd and 8. Renfro quickly got blocks downfield. Let's see what they do here now. They're at the 36-yard line. It's 3rd and about 3. A field goal from here with some wind to factor in is 54 yards.
Yeah, you know, a call like that tells me they're looking to go for it.
Yep.
You know, when you throw just a receiver screen, bubble pass like that.
But you saw Bisaccia, it was right in that gray area, and you could read his lips. He said 54. He was reading lips and then decided to go for it. With a Bengal player injured, Mike Hilton is down.
Offensive timeout for an injured player.
And the injury is mounting now on the Cincinnati defensive side. Daniels and Ogunjobi. Hendrickson being evaluated for concussion. Now they're looking at the right leg of the nickel, the slot corner. Hilton got rolled up by his own man there. As Logan Wilson was all hands on deck trying to find a way to bring down the elusive Hunter Renfrow. That's good to see Hilton up. But we heard that from numerous players, Drew, that even in his second year in the league, Burrow's presence is the reason other guys went around the league and sold and said, hey, we got a Q, we got a QB.
Yeah, it's a QB-driven league. And if you know you got a guy who can help you win at any moment, those are the guys you want to play with. Those are the guys that give you a chance to win championships. And that's what's drawn a lot of these free agents here to Cincinnati.
We see the chances on 4th and 3. Renfrow working underneath. Carr goes the other way, and a flag is down. When Carr was looking back for the flag, he got it. Foster Moreau was trying to shake free. And the drive will stay alive. A 4th down conversion by penalty.
Pass interference. Defense number 29. On the foul. First down.
Vernon Hargraves, who played only 43 snaps all year before last week's game when most of the regulars sat. So Hargraves played more in that one. He hasn't been on the field much this year. Was there because of the injury and drew the flag.
Yeah, you know, in that situation, you're thinking Renfrow, you're thinking Waller. These guys are getting doubled. You know, one of the guys who was singled there was Morrow.
Hey, Lou.
It ends up being a nice gain for them via penalty.
It's a 10-point game. Raiders are field goal range. The 25-yard line. Carr wants more, though. Strokes it in the middle. It is caught. Big hit on Brian Edwards, who gets up. Jesse Bates laid him out legally with no flag thrown, but to the 9-yard line. It's 1st and goal for Las Vegas.
Man, that's playoff football right there. Catching the ball, knowing you're going to get hit. Really nice job by Jesse Bates of finding that target right in his chest with your shoulder. Good clean hit all the way around.
And a really nice job by Edwards to hang on to that pop.
Absolutely.
Wow. Dying seconds, 3rd quarter. Raiders 1st and goal. Corner pressure picked up. Carr just gets rid of it. It was Vernon Hargraves who had the flag earlier with the pressure there. Let's go back to the play that Hargraves was called for pass interference.
Yeah, so here's Hargraves and Morrow right there. You see how he just hooks his hip, slows him down. Refs will call that every time.
Terry McCauley's taught us in his years with us here, you're restricting the pass receiver from getting out. Those 2 arms wrapped around, that restricts the movement. Doesn't feel like a ton, but it's the right deal. Hilton is back in the game, 2nd and goal. Zay Jones on the move. They're running inside here with Jacobs. Good run, power run by Jacobs. Down to the 1-yard line, but stop me if you've heard this quarter. A flag is down.
Holding. Offense. And then 76. 2-yard penalty. You play 2nd down.
Raider offensive line has made way too many mistakes to play winning football tonight. 3rd hold on the drive.
I mean, look, we talk about running the football. They only have 2 defensive tackles, but if you keep holding, you just set yourself back. So find a way to lean on these guys, keep your hands inside, don't hold, and let your running back go to work. You got one of the best running backs in the league, but you cannot continue to have these penalties cost you like this.
So now you're back at the 19. It's 2nd and goal. Final seconds of the 3rd. Do believe you got to snap it. No delay of game called. Carr throws to Waller, who hadn't come out of his break with Jermaine Pratt covering, I should say. And that's the end of the 3rd quarter. It was choppy, a lot of flags, only 1 field goal. The Bengals lead by 10 after 3, and this AFC Wildcard playoff continues from Cincinnati after these messages. Beautiful look at Cincinnati. Tonight's aerial coverage brought to you by Geico. Off we go to the 4th quarter. Bengals haven't won a playoff game in 31 years. They're 15 minutes away, leading by 10. Mike Tirico, Drew Brees, Catherine Tappan, Terry McCauley with you. Huge play for the Raiders in field goal range in a 2-score game. 3rd and goal at the Cincinnati 19. 5 in the pattern for Carr. He's going to throw it to Waller, and it's not going to go very far. Pulled down to 16. The gain limited by Jermaine Pratt. And the field goal from here will be 34 yards for Carlson.
It's tough. You get 2 holding calls on run plays on this drive. You were running the ball really effectively. You got a defensive line that's been decimated by injury thus far this game. 3 out of their top 5 defensive linemen are out. But getting this kick here will get you back in this game. 1-possession game if you can make this.
And Carlson keeps his role. He made his last 23 in the regular season. He's made all 3 here today. Cincinnati's lead is 7. First minute, final quarter. Jamar Chase, Max Crosby, a couple of the guys who are Pro Bowl selections. 1-score game, 14-17 to go. Carlson to kick. Chris Evans back deep. Go over and get it at the 2. And up the numbers. Tackled at the 25-yard line. First down run with Mixon. Inside.
That was the old turf.
Oh,
Riverfront Stadium.
Really hard. That was the home of the
carpet.
The home of the Bengals in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. They played their first couple of years at historic Nippert Stadium in Cincinnati, where the University of Cincinnati, led by Luke Fickell, had an exceptional year. This has been as good a football year as this great Queen City has had in quite some time. Will it end with the Bengals playoff win to start 2022 and move on to the final 8? Burrow throws. Uzama's had a nice game tonight, right at the 35-yard line. Despite Denzel Perryman trying to pull it away. See, they'll mark him just short. They will, just short of the first down.
Yeah, I know the Bengals love to just get in shotgun and throw passes here, but at some point they're going to have to get back to this run game with Joe Mixon. I don't think you want to get in a situation where you're just letting Max Crosby play after play tee off on you in the drop back passing game.
That's a good call, because one play could change everything. Crosby's a game wrecker. 3rd and short with a run, and good job by Mixon to bounce off a couple of would-be tacklers and get the hard yard in the first down.
Yeah, so the Raiders bring in their run front. Really nice job by the nose guard of getting through here. But watch Joe Mixon, this powerful run here. Breaks that tackle, runs through Nassib, through the corner. That's why you have a guy like that. Can get you the hard yards, not just on 1st and 2nd down, but more importantly on 3rd and short.
Where you miss a guy like Quentin Jefferson, Damian Square couldn't make the play behind the line. First down, Burrow. High throw, incomplete for Chase. Covered by Hayward.
Yeah, Joe Burrow just misses high there. It was one of those where you felt like it was going to be a tip ball. You were wondering if they were going to go for the hit or go for the pick.
Burrow 18 of 28 tonight.
Yeah, probably not as efficient a night as maybe what we're used to seeing, especially as of late. Really have to credit this Raider defense. I think they're doing a good job with their disguises and throwing them off a little bit.
And the 36 pressure comes, gets rid of it to Mixon. And a good job rallying to the ball for about 3 yards. It'll be just shy of the 40. Mixon's been slow getting up a couple of times here in this second half. He's going to look over to the sideline. We wonder if we'll see Pirine come in now. We will. 3rd down anyway. Samaje plays on 3rd down often.
Yeah, this is one where you feel like the momentum is a little bit in the Raiders' hands right now based on the drive that they were just on. Got some points. It's a big down for them. Joe Burrow sounded like he's giving protection calls to the offensive line.
And on 3rd and 7, Raiders bring 5. Burrow throws to Chase, who stops and grabs the back shoulder for the first down. Man, those two know each other so well, and they connect in a big spot for 19 yards.
Well, the first thing I loved is the fact that I could hear him calling out number 33 in protection. So he wants to make sure he's going to get the blitz picked up. And then what does he do? He goes to his one-on-one matchup. His guy, Jamar Chase, short side. So much trust and anticipation on this back shoulder. Jamar Chase knows it's coming. Looks at the right time, late hands. And that's just great execution.
Chase talked about that with us, those late hands. Said, how long have you had late hands? All the time. That's not an NFL thing. I worked on that at LSU.
All my life.
Try it again. Got him again. 30-yard line. Biggest players coming up big for the Bengals in this playoff game. Chase is now over 100 yards with grab 9 of the night.
Yeah, you get these play action. Mixing these play actions, what that does, just freezing linebackers. Watch these linebackers. You know, they freeze a little bit with that play action fake before bailing out of there, but it opens up these windows for these being able to work the middle of the field, and they're getting more shell defense now from the Raiders. So look for them to work the middle.
Two safeties in the back. P. Ryan stays out, runs. Crosby with the tackle, couple of yards. We'll dive under 10 minutes here in regulation. You know, talking to Burrow about Chase and Chase about Burrow, it's so fun because they were unbelievable at LSU in 2019 and reunited here in the draft process. We asked Burrow, hey, did you try to go tell him we should get Chase? Well, yeah, well, of course. But he said, I just stayed in the back row, but he did tell Chase, have your bags packed just in case. And they picked up where they left off after smoking the victory cigars in the national championship in 2019. 29. Underneath it is T. Higgins gets his first catch of the night and a first down at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, you really feel like they're finding a rhythm now in the passing game. The ball is getting out of Joe Burrow's hands quickly. Get it to your playmakers in space. Keep moving the chains.
Look, they've only stopped him on one drive, Drew, and they scored on all 4 full drives of the half. There's Mixon getting his right ankle, lower leg worked on the bench as P. Ryan stays in.
Yeah, and quite honestly, a lot of this has been in the passing game. You know, they really have not gotten a whole lot going on the ground thus far. A lot of it's been through the air with Joe Burrow.
Burrow underneath one more time. Boyd the grab at the 13, using all of his receivers here now. You saw Chase and Higgins. Boyd earlier used Zama on this drive.
Yeah, Tyler Boyd is really the Hunter Renfrow of this offense for the Bengals. He plays in the slot a lot, one of the best slot receivers there is in the game. But he runs up. It looks like he's got a three-way go. He can break out, he can hook it up, or he can break in. He felt the middle of the field open. He broke in. Really good decision by a savvy slot receiver.
He's been here for a while. He was here when A.J. Green was here. Said A.J. really taught him so much about how to be a pro. Mixon back in. 2nd and 4. And he'll run it to the right. Stopped at the 10, yards short. Mega third down coming up here with 8 minutes left. You think about all those Bengals names and all those players who were here. I know they didn't have the playoff success. Marvin Lewis built some good teams over the years. They just shot themselves in the foot at the worst time. They made the big mistakes in the big moment. But Marvin really brought this city a winning culture and how they could win, because the Bengals were down for a long time. And you wonder how many of those Bengals former players who connected so well with this city are watching across the country tonight and pulling for not just the franchise but the city to see a playoff win for the first time in a couple of generations.
Yeah, I hope they're proud.
3rd and 1 here. Mixon pitch on the edge. Just stopped short. Just stopped short. Had to get inside the 10 there. Yeah, the official chains are on the near side. That's just the guide on the far side. So Jerome Boger's going to stop it here at 7:09 and bring him out
for a measurement.
Thank you.
Yeah, a lot of this Bengal run game has been to the outer edges. It's been these toss crack plays, these speed sweeps.
Mark, that ball was on the 10. The forward point of that ball when he came down was just on the inside of that 10-yard line. So that mark is pretty darn good. Those down judges and line judges really do a good job with those spots. It's so hard to do. All right, so what are you thinking here if this is short? And it is. So I asked Zach Taylor about the the game against Kansas City where they went for like 11,000 times down here before finally punching it in. Right. And I asked Zach, and he said, look, I got all the analytics. I got somebody in my ear telling me, hey, it's the analytics say this. But he said, I apply the human feel to it, too. And you just kind of know a sense of momentum at the moment. It'll be very interesting to see. Do you try to draw them off here, or do you just go for it?
Yeah, listen, which you have to. And what he also said was, you know what? We got to go win this game. And also recognize who's on the other side of the field. It was Patrick Mahomes.
That's right.
But you know what? We've got to go win this game. We've got to go earn it. To win this division, you've got to be aggressive. And so I love that mentality. You know, look, you're here. You're in the fourth quarter. There's 7 minutes left. You're up by 7 points. You kick a field goal here. You make it a two-possession game. I think you really need to kick the field goal here.
Okay. And whatever the plan is, no play and draw him off or go for it. Joe Burrow is adding a little bit of advice before the play call in the huddle here. 4th and inches. Mix in the back. Take the timeout.
Timeout, Cincinnati. Their first.
You know,
second timeout.
The way he just looked at Zach was that maybe there was a check, and if he got the front that he wanted, he would actually run a play.
Interesting. Did you guys do that?
You got to show.
Did you and Sean do that in New Orleans?
Yeah. If like, for example, if that was going to be quarterback sneak, and you felt like, all right, they're giving us a lane or a gap to hit it, well, let's do it. But if they're going to play a gaps defense, which they did, then you know what? We don't like that. We're either going to run outside or we're going to call a timeout and kick the field goal.
I like the veteran move by Yannick Ngakoue, too, on the end. He stood up to, I'm going to try to get you to jump.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. Yeah, you see all these defenses. I've seen them more this year than any is you know, kind of that late shift to try to get the offensive line to jump.
The rookie McPherson from 28 yards. Great operation. Boy, has he been good. Both kickers have been good as advertised tonight. All 7 of field goal attempts have been converted. The Bengals a 2-score lead with 6:46 to go. As we said, been a long time. It's been dry in the playoff desert for these teams, among a few others. 0-2 AFC Championship, last win for the Raiders. Dolphins, 2000 AFC Wildcard. They've lost their last 4. Our friends up in Detroit, 9 straight losses. BREES handed one of them, too, to Stafford and the Lions in a high-scoring game at the Dome. But then you get to Cincinnati. It's the end of the road. 1990 AFC Wildcard game, played in January of 1991. And they have heard about that a lot. This is the first time in that 8-game postseason losing streak the Bengals have scored more than 20 points in a playoff game. So they're giving them a chance. Tyron Johnson on the return for the Raiders. Had a good one earlier. This one will be shy of the 25 with 6:41 to go. Down 10 for Derek Carr. All right, what's your mindset, quarterback? Couple of timeouts. You need 2 scores, 6:41 to go.
Yeah, there's a sense of urgency. You know, you want to get tempo going here. I certainly wouldn't abandon the run game, especially with the fact that the Bengals' defensive line is very light. Only 2 defensive linemen up right now, just because you've got 2 injuries. Potentially Trey Hendrickson out as well. So, you know, continue to pound the ball, but work with some tempo.
Carr scanning, comes back to Renfro. Hunter to the 27, maybe the 26-yard line. And he's got the most receptions for Las Vegas here this evening. 7 for 53.
You know, you're really getting a lot of zone defense. That's a lot of what the Cincinnati Bengals play. So you should have these opportunities for throws underneath to Waller, to Renfro. Doesn't mean you don't call your shots, but don't be afraid to check it down.
A little extra pressure here. Carr gets hurt, screen behind it. Jacobs picking up blocks. This could go to the 45-yard line. Could have gone a lot longer than that if they would have picked up a block down the field, but there is a flag down as well. This is over on the near side, away from the play. It's thrown to the 35. Line of scrimmage was the 26, and once again we'll get an extended conversation.
Looks like it's lineman downfield. Obviously, it's a screen play. It took a little bit longer. That's what you always assume in those situations. Looked like Alex Leatherwood was downfield.
And those will play downfield. Offense, 70. 5-yard penalty. Replay, second down.
You actually could not have timed this play call any better. You're getting pressure off of the slot, which means you love the screen game. You're going to lure all of these defensive linemen in, and then you're going to drop the screen over the top, which is exactly what they did. It took a little bit longer than normal. So Alex Leatherwood, the right guard, just got a little bit too far down the field there.
Back up 5, 2nd and 12. Carr about to get hit, got rid of it. Jacobs not going to get away from those. We have 3rd and 13. We have another flag down. This one's in the secondary with Zay Jones. I think he was held by Awuzie. And this could be a first down for the Bengals.
Holding. Defense, number 22. 5-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
Yeah, it's a good call by the officials. Awuzie just got caught flat-footed, felt like he was going to get run by, so he grabbed him. But that really bailed out the Raiders there. You know, they're going to be sitting at 3rd and 10 plus. That has not been good to them today. But instead they get a new fresh set of downs.
Turning clock, 5.5 in regulation. Carr's got everything covered. He's just going to get rid of it here. Waller turned it upfield. Trying to work away from Logan Wilson. Wilson's a linebacker. He's got terrific ball skills. He had 10 picks in college, 4 picks this year. Does a good job in coverage.
Yeah, it was impressive to listen to the defensive coaches talk about Logan Wilson. Just what a difference he's made for this defense. You know, he plays in the nickel, plays in the dime. He's a great coverage linebacker, really good ball skills. Has 4 interceptions this year as well.
2nd and 10. Big throw here from Carr in the middle, and that's to the 39 and a first down for Waller with 5:20 to go. The Raiders going to need to pick up their pace here with 2 timeouts left and needing 2 scores.
Yeah, work in the middle of the field with Waller. That's a guy you just got to continue to feed. He's your big playmaker.
2 starting defensive linemen out for the Bengals. Underneath, Renfro's going to get hit and brought down with a good leg tackle by Wilson. So Trey Hendrickson, their best pass rusher, 5th in the league in sacks. He's been out almost this entire second half, checked for a concussion. Larry Ogunjobi, the defensive tackle, hurt his leg, so he's out of there. Sam Hubbard just came off the field. He's exhausted, so you got backups all across the board except for DJ Reader on the Cincinnati front. And Carr has some time to hang in there. Incomplete for Foster Moreau. Well covered by Jesse Bates, who's made a couple of big plays in this second half.
Yeah, watch Carr's eyes here. Looks like he's reading Josh Jacobs out of the backfield on this choice route. Doesn't get him. So now he's looking across the field at Moreau. Just a little bit late. If he can find him a little bit sooner, great ball placement. To find him a little bit sooner, he'd have a big play. Third down here.
Sorry, about 4:32. You need 2 scores. Probably 4 down territory. Carr. Nothing. Edwards was over there. Pass is incomplete. There's no move to bring the punting unit on here at 4th and 5 and 4:27.
Yeah, watch Brian Edwards here at the top of this route, over here to the left. He gets by the defender. It's an out route. A lot of times the adjustment, you can see where Derek Carr threw it. He was expecting him to take a higher angle.
This place is going to go nuts if they get a stop here. Watch the play clock.
They're showing a full blitz look.
The 4th time this half.
Las Vegas. Just second. 30-second timeout.
The Raiders and the play clock, and they weren't ready. As we get to 4th and 5 here. Greg Olson, offensive coordinator there, and Derek Carr. And Carr definitely has something in mind there that he wants.
Yeah, it's hard to communicate out there right now. This place is rocking.
And they know, 4:27, they close this out on this play. Party will start.
Yeah, let's see if they give the same look that they did on that previous snap, which was full blitz. It does not appear to be the case. They've got a deep middle safety in Jesse Bates. Everyone else looks like they're in man coverage on their matchups.
Gotta have it, Carr. To the middle, Deshaun Jackson. To the 30-yard line. 26 yards. Just pop him in for a couple of plays. Somehow he always gets open for something more than 20 yards. Drive alive.
Yeah, so Deshaun Jackson is to be coming into your screen right here. Kind of hesitates and then runs across the ball. They're only getting a 3-man rush. They tried to disguise a 5-man pressure, which gave Derek Carr plenty of time for Deshaun Jackson to get open here. Nice job by the veteran. Might have gotten away with a little push off there.
A couple of times they've worked on Eli Apple in this fourth quarter. 4:19 in regulation. Carr over the middle. Jacobs, first down to the 17-yard line.
Yeah, the faster you can go here, the better. You want to conserve as much time as possible. You've only got one timeout left. The faster you can score, the better.
Yeah. Versace is telling him, get on the ball and kind of looking down the sideline just to, as you said, Drew, just keep the pace going. It's your only chance at this point, down 10. Now quick, sideline, out of bounds, Zay Jones. Try to stretch it for as much yardage as he could. He'll mark with the 10.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you want here. You're able to get out of bounds. You don't have to use a timeout. Right about the 10-yard line here. So now you really do start thinking about, what are our shots to the end zone from this spot? Doesn't mean you can't take a completion in the field of play and get yourself a little bit closer, but
you're certainly down here to get that one score, to make it a one-score game. From the 10, Carr. I'm just going to bench it here, get rid of it, set up third down.
Yeah, 3rd and 3. You're really thinking about your matchups inside, Renfro and Waller. Expect down here in the red zone, what the Bengals like to play is this form of brackets. What does that mean? Safety's going to come down and they're going to choose to double two offensive players. In most cases, it's Waller and Renfro, although Renfro came off the field.
Yeah, it just came out. You saw Versace go down, say field goal ready.
Yeah, so
make sure they're ready.
A little more of a heavier personnel with 2 tight ends on the field.
3rd and 3 with a 3-man rush. Carr throws incomplete. They got a piece of it. Sam Hubbard.
Yeah, and he's lucky he did, because he had Waller running out the backside here on a shallow cross. Would have been a conversion and maybe a touchdown. Oh, just skipped off the top of his helmet there.
Anyway, right? So it will be Carlson from 28 yards. Man, you talk about having a vertical when it can matter. Mattered there. All the field goals have been made. It is a one-score game. Folks were hoping they'd go down and get some points there, and the Raiders did just that. Raiders have 1 timeout left. Clock managed properly, and they stopped them. The Raiders can get the ball back with about 1:55 left. The Bengals are a first down away from closing this game out. What will happen? First, the kick return. Short-handed out to the 26. Goes Chris Evans. Take a look at our next-gen stats powered by AWS and Jamar Chase.
Yeah, outside the numbers, he has been so effective today. So explosive and yet so smooth. His ability in off coverage just to make every route look the same. Press coverage, a lot of these deep routes, but his timing, chemistry with Joe Burrow, his ability to simply flip his hips, catch these back shoulder throws. He's had 6 targets, 5 receptions, 84 yards outside the numbers today. Big plays continue to happen for Jamar Chase.
Raiders can stop it twice. Once with the timeout, then the 2-minute warning. From the 26, it's Mixon. Stopped behind the line of scrimmage, loss of 2. We'll just let this spin down here. Hold on to this timeout.
That was actually a big stop by the Raiders.
No doubt.
And not only do you stop, but you get a tackle for loss here. You know, what's really been working for the Bengals on a lot of these drives is just that short intermediate passing game. Joe Burrow getting the ball out of his hand quickly. You don't want to get a habit of sitting back there holding it with Max Crosby in the night he's had. But here we go. We go empty. We know Joe Burrow loves it. He's got a great comfort and feel for it. Sees the field extremely well.
Back under center. They're going to run it with Chase. He'll try to slam it in there. Now trying to take it to the other side. He is pursued, burned some clock, but a timeout taken by the Raiders once he's stopped after a gain of only a yard. 2:35 to go.
Timeout.
And here we go.
The third and final of the game. 30-second timeout.
We talked about Max Crosby in the evening that he has had. The Pro Bowler, second team All-Pro.
Yeah, I mean, he's such a threat. You cannot block this guy with one person. Whether it's the bull rush or the speed of the outside, here he is bull rushing again, causing Burrow to have to step up and scramble. Here they run a game. Just his timing and ability to hit it inside. He's got so many counter moves. He can use the speed. He's got power, long arms. I mean, he's got all the traits. He is a relentless pass rusher and somebody that in a 3rd and 11 situation right here, you better chip him. He's going to be in your lap.
Couple of things here. Does Cincinnati throw? If they throw and it's incomplete, it gives the Raiders a little bit of time on this side of the 2-minute warning. If not, the next clock stoppage is the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, well, the unfortunate thing is you're at 3rd and 11. I think you do. I think you do throw it because you got matchups, but you better make sure you're chipping Crosby over here.
You've got the guy with the highest completion percentage in the league. And Burrow saw it, looked at it, and took a timeout. Down to
timeout,
1.
Cincinnati. Their second. 30-second timeout.
Well, on the Thursday night before Super Bowl 56, the NFL's brightest stars going to be recognized for the best plays, the moments from the season. Tune into NFL Honors Thursday, February 10, 9 Eastern on ABC, ESPN Plus, and the NFL Network. Can you imagine the shuffling that's going on, the pacing that's going on in the houses around the Cincinnati area right now? It has been so long since they won a playoff game, and they're this close. This play could change it. If they get a first down here, game's over.
Yeah. Listen, I think you absolutely go for it. And the reason you do is because you got Joe Burrow.
So Samaje Perine's the back.
So notice how they put Perine here to chip Max Crosby.
He helps out. Burrow throws underneath. Uzama, can he get there? No, he stopped, and the Raiders are going to have a chance. The clock will spin down to 2 minutes. It'll stop for the 2-minute warning. It'll be punted, and Derek Carr goes to Greg Olsen, the offensive coordinator, and they're starting to plan. They're starting to scheme, and we got the ball in our hands with a chance. The Raiders, who have been on the field more than any team in the NFL since the 1930s because the 17-game schedule and all their overtimes. The Raiders, who had 6 walk-off wins, have a chance. At the 2-minute warning in Cincinnati, whose playoff drought is going to end. One drive to decide it. Bengals kicking to the Raiders. Up 7, trying to end their 31-year drought. Ian Eagle, Charles Davis are up in Buffalo. They've got the Patriots and the Bills on CBS. Eagles, Bucks on Fox at 1 Eastern tomorrow. Then the Niners and the Cowboys on CBS and Nickelodeon. And then 8:15 Eastern, Al, Chris, and Michelle of the Steelers and the Chiefs on NBC, streaming on Peacock. And on Monday night, Steve Levy and the guys will have the Cardinals and the Rams at SoFi, where everybody's trying to get to for Super Bowl 56 on ESPN. The average net punt from Huber would give the Raiders the ball at the 27-yard line. Hunter Renfrow coming up. It's going to bounce, and they're going to get better than the net average. They'll get it at the 35. 1:51 to go, and here we go.
Yeah, how many times have we seen this year, Michael? And honestly, I don't think they could have asked for a better situation. Based on the way this game has gone, some of the early penalties and turnovers that really set them back, and they have fought their way back into this game, and now they've got a chance to go down and tie it.
No timeouts. What's the thinking as a quarterback? Got to get a touchdown here.
Yeah, you'd like to get the ball out of bounds when you can to stop the clock, because any ball that stays inbound, obviously, clock's going to run. You do not have that much time.
From the 35, Carr is pressured. He steps up here, swings it out to Jacobs. Flag is down as Jacobs accelerates for 15. But a flag is down. Carr is indicating that it's on the Bengals. Let's see, a huge discussion going on here. Jacobs ran into midfield.
Personal foul.
Oh, boy.
Roughing the passer.
Wow.
Defense, number 90. 15-yard penalty after the end of the play. First down.
That's on Khalid Kareem. That's a 30-yard gain, and the Raiders are in great shape with 1:44 to go.
You see him try to bat the ball here.
No. They hit his shoulder. Carr sold it. Oh, no. It's a bad call at a bad spot. 35-yard line for the Raiders, 1:44 to go. Carr over the middle. It is incomplete. Tried to get it to Waller, tightly covered.
Yeah, this is the same defensive personnel that they played in the 2-minute situation before the end of half. And what they're doing is they're bringing in Trey Flowers, who's a big 6'3" corner, to sit here and match Darren Waller. If they can continue to play man, I see that as a matchup that Derek Carr is going to take advantage of.
From the 35, rushing forward, deep drop. Carr will go down. Sacked by B.J. Hill. Clock keeps running. Huge play by Hill. And it's third down now. They got to get to the 25. Again, the four-man rush. In the middle, Waller, he grabbed it. What a catch by Waller. What a throw by Carr. First down Raiders with 1:06 to go. Wow.
That was an unbelievable throw and catch.
56 left. Carr will throw it out to the side. It's incomplete. That may help the Raiders and everybody catch their breath here. Back to that great throw and catch.
Yeah, this was unbelievable. Especially the way they had to sped up on 3rd and long. I mean, Carr put this the only place you could put it. And unbelievable play by two unbelievable players. But again, that Waller matchup is one, especially as you get down here in crunch time, that you're going to want to take advantage of.
He needs a break. Foster Moreau's the tight end. Renfro's over next to him in the slot. Carr goes it high. Moreau didn't catch it. He was going to get hit anyway. A third down coming up. 45 seconds left. Waller back in.
Yeah, you're really thinking about, even if you don't get the first down here, certainly as a play caller, you're thinking, all right, I got to have my 4th and 5 play call in the event that this is inbounds and the clock is running. And then you're really thinking about getting up and clocking it, because I think you want to have a chance to really think about how you're going to take shots at the end zone from there.
3rd and 10. Carr protected. Fire is complete. Zay Jones got the first down at the 9. We'll see if they go clock it or they run a play.
Yeah, if they're going to run a play, it just needs to be something really quick. Throw a fade, but definitely a shot to the end zone.
Hand signals there from Carr, and he clocks it. 29 seconds left. It's interesting there. He got everybody set, but wasted down to get settled to get 3 shots.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would have expected to do, but get the ball clocked faster. You know, Zay Jones runs, he's open there for a while. I'm actually surprised that Cincinnati allowed him to catch the ball in front of him like that.
Look at that.
Carr said, hey, slide in a little bit.
Rarely, I've never seen that. The thumb to move you over here.
Well, rarely do you have time to do that.
The season comes down to 3 snaps here. 29 seconds left. 2nd and goal, Carr. Throwing end zone, incomplete, broken up by Bates, trying to get it to Jones. Jesse Bates has had a terrific second half. 25 to go.
Yeah, Bates is really coming along as a free safety here. Watch him, he's just got eyes on Carr the whole way, and as he drifts over, he feels Carr locked in on Zay Jones. Excellent job by the free safety reading the quarterback's eyes.
You're all thinking, where's Waller? Where's Renfro? The two guys who've gotten it so often and they've got to have it. Doesn't mean the other guys can't make a big play. Renfro, slot left. Waller, slot to the right.
Yeah, they're showing 5-man rush, but they drop the ends.
Third and goal. Here is Carr with time. Escapes, now fires, incomplete, no flag with the contact. We're down to one play. It's Hilton against Renfro on the coverage.
Yeah, we knew this was going to be a matchup today. Mike Hilton as the slot defender playing against Renfro, and so hard to cover. But in this situation here, as the quarterback scrambles, you call that plaster.
And a great no call as Renfro slipped. So here it is. The Bengals haven't won a playoff game in 31 years. They're one play away. Can the Raiders pull another one out? 4th and goal. The season comes down to this. It is Carr, end zone. Intercepted. Jermaine Pratt has it. And for the first time in 31 years, Cincinnati, your Bengals have won a playoff game.
The field was an interception. First down, Cincinnati.
What a season for the Raiders. Everything they've dealt with, right down to that last snap. Great leadership shown. But the Bengals move on. Joe Burrow's won his first playoff game. And Cincinnati's a playoff winner for the first time since 1991. Unbelievable job done by Rich Bisaccia and this Raiders coaching staff and players with the adversity we've detailed, with uncertain futures going forward, but great respect earned within this league. But the Kitty Cats have arrived. 66,277. Largest crowd in the history of Paul Brown Stadium was here to see it. A few 100,000 more will tell you they were here when the Bengals ended the drought. The Raiders have been knocked out. The Bengals advance 26-19.